Welcome back to another week of VCS fun times and action. As always, I am Everyday
Hopefully.
Caster, hopefully. As always, I am Everyday Caster. With me is my good friend Yulwei to bring you the knowledge of the games. How are we tonight?
Hello. Yeah, I hope you don't hear my little bit exhausted voice, I'd say, because I'm still a little bit sick, but it should be fine. So
We'll be
I
right.
hope that's good to go. How are you? How are you?
Not bad. Better than I was last time we tried to broadcast. Do want to extend a sincere apologies for those of you who
Absolutely.
noticed we didn't stream much on Sunday. We had a bit of a perfect storm with Yulwei having internet problems and therefore not being able to host, and me accidentally pouring boiling oil on my hand and not being able to host either. So we did have to miss a night, but we are back in full force now. I am mostly intact. Um, that said,
Also,
sorry, go ahead.
go back and watch those games if you missed them,
Yeah.
because the first series was absolutely crazy. Maybe you've seen a few of the highlight plays. The red inhibitor getting the MVP for Flash. It was such a ridiculous series of
It
events
was.
there. So yeah, if you missed the series because we couldn't broadcast it, go back and watch the Vietnamese VOD or maybe the highlight video, because that was definitely a series you won't want to miss, or you wouldn't want to miss. So today we're back, and maybe the stream will be back as well. Right now it's experiencing a few problems. The lag has been something that has bugged us before, but let's hope they'll fix it before the game, because that's probably why the delay is happening. So
Yeah.
we're just here to fill a little bit, because yeah, of course we're very grateful for you to stick with us, even though we have already missed our starting time by 18 minutes.
Yeah, it's not ideal. I will give credit where credit's due. I've said this before, but we do have a representative from the VN production that actually is in communication with us, and they're super on top of it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not perfect, but they are super on top of it, and they do try and keep us updated when they can. Haven't heard anything about tonight, but you can be sure that they're doing their best to sort it out.
Yeah,
Um,
it's definitely better to have the stream fixed right now than to have the game start very laggy, right? Because the last time we saw the laggy games, it's just not enjoyable. It's better to just wait a few minutes more and hope for a better stream.
Yeah, if you do go check the Vietnamese stream right now, you'll see that it is a little bit of a slideshow at times. So hopefully they do sort it out, because I'd much rather not watch a PowerPoint presentation. But we do have two series tonight, and they're very different series. Let's put it like
Yeah,
that.
they are very
We're
different.
starting off with what our Twitter, without consulting me, named our match of the week, which is FTV
I mean,
taking on VGA. Bottom of the barrel
we could
clash.
we could say it's the match of the week, right? Because
Yeah,
it's
yeah, with an
two,
A.
those are very weak teams.
That's true.
Maybe not quite as exciting a matchup as the second one, but a very interesting one nonetheless. Because, of course, those are the two struggling teams. Adonis has now freed their jungler, apparently. So they are actually able to field a real roster again. If you look at Adonis's season so far, they started off strong, 2-1 against DBL, and then didn't win a single game after. They won games, sorry, but they didn't win a single series afterwards. And the last 3 series have been O2s, so very much not the greatest trajectory ever for this team. But now they have the jungler back, so the perfect time for them to come back and secure their second victory.
Yeah, I mean that is definitely the idea. We want to see them potentially on the bounce back, but we've also got VGA angling for their first series win. This is their best chance. They are debuting a new player, aren't they?
Are
I
they?
think I
Oh.
read. I think they've got someone on they're debuting someone because they've. I mean, good. They had to fix something. Apparently, this week and next week is like a bit of a window where you can kind of change up your team. The roster lock opens
Hmm,
up. So I think they've got
interesting.
someone coming in. I don't remember his name. If someone in chat wants to remind me, that'd be good. We'll have to see. I mean, it'll be essentially quite a new look for both teams. We should have VGA potentially having a jungler. It really depends when did they get Y1 back. Has he
Yeah.
had a chance to reintegrate? And it's Suffer. There we go. Thanks for Suffer coming in.
Suffer. Okay. Do we know what position he will play?
I think we do, but I don't off my head
Yeah,
because
I
I'm a
don't remember.
play-by-play caster, so
Very
I don't need
sorry.
to know.
Didn't actually catch that part of the
Support.
news.
What?
Support. Interesting. So FTV had some struggles with their support player. They were even willing to sub him out again and put Kuroko into support, which really didn't pan out for
Don't
them.
do
So
that.
it's kind of sad to see for Tiger because so far Tiger hasn't really had the time to shine, right? He's played Braum a lot, Leona, Tom Kench, so not really the chance to express the most amount of skill, especially on the Braum, of course. So yeah, I'm not too sure if I like this move. Maybe Suffer and Police can build a strong bot lane. That was the core of FTV's success towards the later stages of Summer Split. So, of course, if you can suddenly dominate bot lane again, like you did in Summer, then it's a good change. I would have liked to see
Sorry,
maybe a
we've got
different
this wrong.
jungler.
We've made a mistake. Thank you for correcting us, chat. Suffer is on VGA. Tiger is still in.
Okay, good.
That is a mistake.
Good. Apologies, but for VGA, yeah, they have already swapped their roster again and again, so it's nothing too new. They also have more than 5 players with Django on the bench, so I guess it's just one more player for VGA, and we'll have to see if he actually plays today. As support player instead of BO3. That is even more confusing to me.
Yeah, BO3 has looked fine.
Yeah.
I don't think he's been the issue. We'll have to see. Maybe Suffer is considerably better, or maybe they just want to try something. Yeah, VGA has too many support players.
It's a very risky series to try something, though.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, it's a very important series for either team because, of course, 7th and 8th will go to the promotion tournament for summer, and you want to avoid that. So you want to collect as many series victories as possible to potentially have another of the playoff contender teams knock them down. Like DBL is still sitting on only 2 wins. So if VGA wins today and they have the victory against DBL, so the head-to-head is actually looking better, they could suddenly jump up to 6th position, which would be a great success. So it's quite risky for them to try a new player today. If they lose against FTV, their season is looking pretty dire.
Yeah, I mean, both teams' seasons are looking super dire here, and it is very difficult to predict this game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know who really to call favourites. I think when in our pick'ems, I have FTV. That's more because I'm hoping. Well. I'm almost hoping because I don't want to see a team go 0-14. That would be a little bit sad. It's going to depend how well Y1 slots back into VGA, how well Suffer goes. I mean, we have to remember, as much as it was it was definitely a series, to put it very nicely. FTV did take a map off GARM.
Yeah, and almost 2. You have to remember the last game was Dia1 really put on his carry pants. If he didn't do that, they would have won 2-1 against GAM. So, yeah. FTV did win 2 games, one against GAM, one against EVOS, and almost the third one against GAM, as we said. So they have looked way better last week. So that's also why I predicted FTV to win this one, because I think they have found something. They have found the Illusion pick and the bot lane, which brought them great success. 5 picks now for Police, 2 wins. Which doesn't sound too great, but you have to consider that FTV has only won 2 games in total. So 2 wins on Lucian are better than any other champ. He's better than any other champ for him. So yeah, I think FTV's coming in hot is a little bit of an overstatement, but not as cold as
not
before.
Glacial. They've gone away from the South Pole to like the edge of Antarctica, which is great, but for them.
They're now up to I'm not sure. Some very small island in this
like the tip of Chile or something.
Yeah.
The bottom tip of South America. I do just want to say, because we've been talking for a little bit longer than we normally would because there was a delay on the main stream. If you do have a look at your channel points, I'm not sure how many it's worth. It's like this 1,500 or maybe even less than that. I don't know. 1,500 channel points. You can highlight. You can ask a message directly to us so we can actually see it. And while we're having our chats, we'll try and help people out as much as we can to get your head around the VCS.
It's 1,500 bad drafts, by the way.
It's 1,500 bad drafts, not channel points. That's very true.
Of course. You accrue a lot of bad drafts watching a VCS.
It's true.
So
We've been watching. I mean, I've been watching the VCS for so long. I have 14,000 bad drafts.
Excessive.
But we should be getting into game soon enough, as players are at their desks. The stream.
There's a new face for Adonis.
Yep, that must be. Well, it must be Suffer, right?
Yeah.
He's at debuting, so. There we go. So that's how the question looks. What is the impact of Zeros returning to the league? Garm's going to dominate even harder.
And we will all be very, very sad for Kiaya.
Yeah. The real big impact of Zeros returning to the league is that Kiaya has to sit on a bench despite, at the moment, being the best top laner in the league.
It's so sad.
That's such a shame.
To go to a different team. Actually, there is pre-existing synergy between Kiaya and Police, so you can only hope for the change. Even though I wouldn't actually wish Kiaya the fate of having to play for FTV.
But regardless of that, here we go. We do have a champion select coming in thick and fast, so we can have a look. And no, it's not Suffer, not in. We must have just gotten a little bit confused with our faces. Still is
it's scary. Okay, I still don't quite know how scary looks like. So yeah, I got a little bit confused because of Scary's face, but that is another very strange and interesting topic to talk about. It's scary in the jungle. It's not actually Y1.
Also, can we talk about how FTV is guaranteed gonna win? They have The Witcher as their coach. So as long as they've tossed a coin to him.
What?
All they have to do is toss a coin to him and they're in. It's done.
Yeah.
And the other thing to comment on, before we even look at the champions that are coming in the bands, Scary is still in.
Yeah.
Come on. Y1's back. Why is my boy Scary still here?
Maybe he's not able to play right now, which is a very bad sign for Adonis, and I'm quite happy I went with the FTV.
Yep, I am too. I also went FTV, and now it's looking pretty good. But Rika will get his set. A strong champion for sure. Something that he
for Aphelios though.
That's not ideal.
On. Oh my god.
That's
Aphelios on.
That's such a good rotation. Yeah. Oh boy.
One last statistical thing to touch upon is both teams have only won on blue side. So looking at that, FTV should be the favored in this match. That said though, looking at the draft, ooh man, that is a strong first rotation for Adonis.
Yeah, that is an incredibly strong first rotation there. I would say Aphelios, strongest AD carry in the game. I would actually say that Ornn is also stronger than Set. Set will have a fine lane phase, because Ornn really can't kill Set unless Set massively misplays. But it's answered back by a very strong bot lane here for FTV. They just went for the Snap MF Braum. Braum obviously great into Ornn.
Yeah.
So it looks pretty good.
So we can also see on screen right now, Set's win rate is at 65%. He's the most picked top laner and found a lot of success on the VCS, which is quite surprising if you look at the global average. Because Set is not looking too hot in the Western leagues, especially not in LEC, if I remember correctly. Has lost a lot of games. Didn't look too great in the LCK either, so it's quite surprising to see him have so much success here. I think it's also due to the fact that the two players who play the most Set are on the two best teams, right? It's Kiaya and Goshino, so the win rate is a little bit inflated.
Yep, that's very true. And we do have the Karma rounding out the first round of picks here for Adonis.
Vit carry us, please.
Yep, this is very much the Vit carry us. Syndra and Zoe banned out. Makes sense. Syndra, I mean, I'm honestly surprised that Syndra got through the first round of bans and didn't get picked, but obviously PHT not opting towards that champion.
Yeah, could have been the R3 pick, but as I said, it's more of the protect the AD carry comp, which is a little bit surprising looking at PHT so far in the league. He's more of the carry player. He's the Yasuo main, the player with the most Yasuo games so far in the league, even though Yasuo is not really that much in the matter. You can kind of play him with Gragas, but he's it's a little bit iffy right now. So, but a very aggressive player. A little bit surprising to see him on the Karma. It can still be a flex, of course. You
Bane
can
being
flex her
banned as
either.
well.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, it was
Okay.
being used as the set counter, but it never worked.
It's true. Yeah. 2 games for PhD, and he looked bad in both of them. You have to consider a very hard opponent, though. So maybe FTV is too scared here. I mean, not maybe. It's apparent they are too scared of the Vayne. So it's a little bit of a weird choice. Maybe they had a free ban. They didn't really had to pinch the mid lane pool more. So it's fair enough.
This would be an interesting pick if they go towards the Silas.
Yep, and it's locked in.
It is locked in. You're a few moments ahead of us. Might just have to resync when we can. Apologies. But yeah, it is locked in. I imagine, can Silas jungle at the moment?
Yeah. He's quite a good jungler.
Yeah, okay. And so it looks like the Rise. Also, just a comment, we keep missing things. Yeah. 1 ground. We haven't seen him. Where's he come from? Is this maybe Suffer's actual name?
Yeah, who knows? No, Suffer is on VGA.
Oh god, yeah.
Apparently.
It's hard with these bottom teams, okay?
Yeah, it's we don't really get the information before the game starts, so apologies again. We can only go from what we see on screen right now. 1 ground in. Maybe it's just a new name for Tiger, potentially. Maybe it's the new player for FTV. And we've discussed a little the possibility of a stronger bot lane for FTV as their backbone or their linchpin to success. Right now, no matter the players, this bot lane matchup is horrible. So yeah, you have to play against Aphelios Karma. It's no fun.
And I've got to say,
a lot of range, a lot of poke.
I've got to say, obviously, if you've been following the minor region scene, not just the VCS, PCS is back tomorrow, but apparently it's back tonight because this is going to be a 45-minute game. Look how late game both of these are.
Yeah. But probably a 45-minute game with a lot of kills, which is not very PCS-like. So you get the best from both worlds.
Exactly.
Right?
It'll be a 45-minute game, which is the PCS part, but it'll be fun, which is definitely not the PCS part. I love you, Vinny.
And FTV wins a fan vote. That's a novum. That has never happened before. Wow.
That is genuinely probably a first.
Yeah. So, looking at the compositions, for sure feels like VGA came out ahead in the draft. We have a very, very strong front-to-back teamfight setup, very good scaling with Ornn, Orianna, and of course Aphelios down in the bot lane. So this should be, this is a very, very strong teamfight composition. Kind of weak to side laning, but there aren't that many great side laners on the FTV side. Set actually not that great a side lane champ. Rise can side lane, of course, but it's VCS, so you always have to be a little bit,
it's VCS side
when it comes to side laning. So
in the VCS, there's about 2 lanes total because you get half of each side
lane. That's fair. So on FTV side, it's a much more aggressive comp, much more early game focused or mid game focused, you could say. We have Silas in the jungle who needs a little bit of time, so he's a little bit off theme, you could say, but he's also can be very strong on 1.5 items when he gets through the early parts of the jungle. His first clear quite weak. J4 could try to invade him and maybe exploit some early pathing, especially with a ranged mid laner matchup into a melee mid laner matchup. That should be a good point of attack.
One thing to comment on here is Silas is definitely not a pick we see super often, but it's quite funny because they have Braum and Silas against an Ornn. The Ornn ult is doing more for them than it is for VGA.
Sadly, the best part about Ornn, the items, they can't really copy them, so
yeah, that's true.
We have seen Ornn's win rate in the VCS is actually horribly bad. It's 31%. It's very, very weak.
It's very weak
so far, and it kind of makes sense in a league with an average game time of 31 minutes and 1 second. So it's a very, very fast league, and most of the games end before Ornn gets to more than 1 or 2 upgrades. So it makes a little bit more sense that Ornn is not quite the strongest champ in the game as he is everywhere else.
That makes
not counting Soraka, of course.
Yeah, we still didn't see any respect towards Soraka or Yumi in that draft, despite still being on
Also, no
10.3.
Senna. No
Yeah,
Senna at all.
yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't think Senna
Even
was ever much of a VCS champ. So I'm surprised. I'm not
that's fair.
surprised they're not bringing her back. Because I don't. I understand there's the whole new
Yeah.
non-farming Senna stuff, but it's not like it's complete. It's not really broken. So I don't necessarily see. We'll think. I don't necessarily think we'll see the VCS pick it up. It's strong, but it's not as busted.
LCK thinks it's broken, but
Yeah,
it
okay.
makes more
LCK
sense in
thinks a lot of things
LCK.
are broken.
Yeah, it also makes a little bit more sense on LCK because you get more time to farm, of course.
Exactly.
So yeah,
I think that kind of playstyle in the VCS gets punished way too hard because the fights are so early. You
it's
essentially just have a Tahm
I
Kench with a
don't
little
actually
bit of
think
extra
it's
gold.
that bad in fights early, but of course tanks generally scale better with one item, so you actually get a better power spike. So I think we'll definitely see teams try the Senna strategy, especially the teams with good Senna players like DBL and of course Team Secret. We might actually get to see Team Secret try today because they have Celebrity, and Celebrity is one of, if not the worst, ADCs when it comes to team fight damage output. But he's a very good Senna player, so
True.
yeah.
Now, look your way. Just I'll tap that one down. I've got it in a notepad document. Maybe that's something we can talk about on the next episode of the Everyway podcast. Because at the moment, we do have a game between two teams that I don't think are gonna play that center. Don't think are gonna bring out that new strat.
Fair enough.
As you need to look, obviously, up in the top lane, Rika. Oh god, Rika, my boy, you got to punch those minions. Just missed a few minions there for no real reason, but is crashing a big wave. It looks like they want the dive. The teleport's being used. Chip, you need to get out of here, my son. And there he goes. A little bit too
Interesting attempt.
advertised that was coming. I think you want to
Yeah.
TP after your jungler commits.
Actually, the nothing lost for victory because he TP'd on a good wave for him. So he actually didn't lose too much on the mid lane. Okay, he's down in CS, so he lost the first wave, I guess. But PHT TP'd straight back into the mid lane while Victory went for the top lane play. And the wave was in a position where he could just walk back to mid lane, not lose too much. He lost a lot before that, though. So he's still almost, he's on half CS compared to the enemy mid laner. That is not a good start for the Rise, who needs to be very strong in the side lanes.
Yeah, it was not a good use of the TP. It was not as bad as it could have been. But still, overall, he's definitely not happy about using the TP in that way. Going in just to get some deep vision, that's good to see at least. Victory probing
he missed
for
another
wards.
cannon.
Yeah, Rika. Yeah, it's Rika in lane.
Yeah, for sure not a good TP. Didn't want to say it was a good TP. Not quite as heavily punished as we sometimes see early TP plays in other lanes when there's no kill secured, because the enemy mid laner was pushed in and used this TP to get to lane, back to lane. He
Up in the
definitely
top
sacrificed you see.
Can't kill on.
No.
Hoping for something.
Yeah, on against Set is a matchup that is not really too exciting. There is no way for On to kill the Set. Set has a very hard time to find the kill on as well. So probably just a farm lane.
Yeah, it definitely should be. We're going to see, again, as is tradition for the VCS, we're going to see where the junglers want to get the party started. Gary moving through the mid lane, looks like he wants to go try and get some control over the bottom side river, because they've had bot priority the entire game so far, as Aphelios Karma will always. This should be a free Infernal Drake.
Easy. This is a very early dragon. So yeah, FTV is not too unhappy with this, honestly, because that's a lot of resources to get the dragon. It's another backport free for their struggling mid laner, so he got something out of this situation. It's a lot of time extra now for Kuroko also to farm up to level 6, and we talked about him being on the champion that needs a little bit of time in the jungle, so he's now actually ahead in CS and looking quite good. So FTV, even though they gave up the dragon, not too unhappy about this, alleviated some pressure on the bot lane as well. So right now, a good start for them. But bot lane and mid lane, in terms of CS, are struggling for FTV. That's not a good sign.
They're definitely already falling behind, and I feel like that's already really bad because, as we said, both of these comps can go late, but going late into Orna Felios is pretty terrifying. So I think FTV would have wanted to be ahead earlier on, and at the
they
moment
still have some time to accelerate, right?
but they absolutely do, but I don't think they have the agency to do it. Because where would the acceleration come from at the moment? It would have to be jungle players. And
yeah, it has to be Kurko, and Kurko will hit 6 soon. So if you look at the that are available, if Vid, so Aphelios is one of the very few champs that actually has counterplay against Silas ult steal. So Vid, whenever he sees Silas approaching, needs to swap away from the Gravitum ult to not
that's
get
how
stunned.
that works. Makes sense. I haven't actually seen a Silas into it.
Yeah. Silas can steal the ult from Aphelios, but only that is currently equipped. So you obviously want to steal the Gravitum ult, even though I say that, I'm not actually sure you can reactivate.
I don't think you can. I think Aphelios ult would just be really bad. I think you'd have to take Infernum. Yeah.
It's actually very bad, yeah.
Yeah, because it just applies the mark. I mean, hang on. I wonder, if you steal Calibrum and it get all the marks, does Silas get, like, super duper spaghetti auto attacks?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. Okay, so you actually don't want to steal Gravitum, which is weird because Gravitum is usually the best CC ult, but because you don't have the Q, you can't reactivate the mark. Maybe you can. Silas has some weird interactions because, for example, with Cannon, you can stun with ult, even though the stun is not on the ult, but on the Cannon passive.
Yeah.
But I think you can't because it's an active ability. Yeah. So, yeah, it's not the greatest ult to steal. Karma also doesn't really provide anything. If they want to dive bot lane, they need to steal another ult. And of course, there's the Cataclysm. That is quite a good ult to steal. You can also go for the Shockwave. Not a lot of damage in the early game, so a little bit more CC focused. And the best would be on. If you can steal on ult and then go bot to dive, that's a very, very strong setup.
Yeah, particularly because it's, look at the bot lane as well. Like, you go the Orn into the Glacial Fissure with a bullet time over the top. That is very, very quickly a dead Aphelios Karma, despite the fact that Aphelios Karma is very hard to kill. But FTV here, no kills have happened, but they're getting a Rift Herald, but it's already not worth it. Because look what's happened in the bot lane. That is an Aphelios with Crescendum hitting a tower. It's already not worth it.
Crescendum is so busted. Oh my god, it's once again Crescendum against turrets. Yep, they've already lost more plays than they can ever get with the Rift Herald, also lost a lot of experience and farm on their ADC, and will lose first turret bonus gold as well, most likely.
Almost certainly. There we go. That's a big payout, and we may well have a set in a bit of trouble here. Rika has to run away, taking so much damage, but Victory's here to make sure his top laner
once again, Victory is forced to use his teleport to protect his top laner.
He's going to lose a lot of CS for this. The whole wave's about to hit the tower.
He lost a lot the first time. He'll lose even more the second time. And wow, Police didn't get the golds.
No, it went to Kuroko because he dropped the Herald. Somehow. I guess Police wasn't in range, therefore it all went to the Herald dropper.
It is so unfortunate. It's so insanely unfortunate for FTV. The last minute has almost locked down the game now for VGA. It's pretty hard to lose from this position. They would need to mess up a lot. Of course, it's still a 10.3, so we don't actually get to see the very overpowered new Sunfire Cape. It's still just Sunfire Cape.
I can't believe they buffed that item.
Yeah, if you want a good solo queue champ for top now and you like lane, so you're not comfortable playing weird bruiser champs, just go Maokai. He's so good right now with the new Sunfire and
the new Immolate passive,
Immolate, that is the name, right?
Maokai is looking very good. Have to see now.
Also, Maokai Senna, if you have to do it. But yeah, another dragon.
Okay. This should be a free dragon. I don't think FTV can fight for this.
Yeah, the game's slipping away more, being very PCS-like, but it is. There's no kill at 11 minutes in VCS. I'm not sure if this is the record for the season. Might well be, actually. It's definitely the record to have 2 dragons before 2 kills come in the VCS.
That's very, very true. I 11 minutes for a first blood is incredibly slow for the VCS. No doubt we'll find it soon. And FTV is a little bit bailed out that it's a Cloud Rift. Cloud Soul obviously not super impactful. I mean, it's impactful, but it's nowhere near as impactful as an Ocean Rift, which was the other option.
Yeah.
And considering how fast these dragons are being taken, VGA has a very good chance of securing a Dragon Soul. Because FTV needs to fight back very quickly if they want to prevent that. As the top lane tower goes down, so that's a bit of gold back for FTV at least.
I quite like what FTV did here. So even though they messed up, they lost a lot of turret plates because they didn't respect Crescendo. Now they got a lot of free gold just in a trade for the Mountain Drake, which, I mean, you don't care about Mountain Drake. You can challenge the next dragon, especially with your composition looking stronger on 2 items or 1.5 items, most probably. So I like this very deliberate decision by FTV to just give up the dragon and go for top lane plates. Also funneled all the gold into Rika, which might give him the access to Trinity Force early on, which is the strongest 1 item power spike you can hope for.
It's what he's building as well. You can already see with the daggers. That's going towards a stinger, which I'm happy to see.
So there's still a little bit of hope. There's a little bit of hope for FTV now. Also, the gold lead has been stabilized a little bit.
Oh, here we go. The suplex being used up here in the top lane. PHT in some trouble. Has to flash the wall. Rika looking for solo kills. And if it hadn't been for that flash, he would have had it.
Could have flashed after him. A little bit too scared of the jungler.
He didn't know where the jungler was. And I think he actually would have been punished.
Yeah, probably. Of course, we have perfect vision, so we did see Scary was in the vicinity. Maybe not quite close enough, but maybe close enough to punish afterwards. So maybe good decision overall for Rika to not go for the commit. Also, flash for nothing is always a nice trade to have.
And he goes back and completes his Trinity Force. So that's very nice, particularly he should definitely be at that 1.5 item mark for the next dragon, which sometimes a Trinity Force set can't get to. But he has, and he has. Really but they have an Orn ult as well. This could be a very strong dive.
FTV for their recovery here in this game, because look at all this CS. They've stabilized and almost.
Look at all the Rams.
No, what's going on? Oh, that's great. The team fights will be quite something.
Silas makes games so fun. Disappointed there's no Mordekaiser for VGA. That's always fun. I mean, it's unfortunate there because he used the Silas ult to make sure that victory was safe, because obviously if you get that double brittle auto attack, you can just instantly die. But now they don't have an Orn ult on the Silas. A shame, because that's definitely the strongest ult for him to steal in this game.
Yeah. Luckily, there's no big objective coming up right now, so they still have a little to get another ult. And I think on ult, cooldown should be low enough to have it ready for the next teamfight as well. If that's not the case, this decision, as you said, is not the greatest, of course. You can always go for Scary's ult for more engage. You can also go for PHT ult.
Don't think he'll be able to re-steal Orn ult before Dragon.
It's still more than 1 minute left, and Arnold has very short cooldown, so I think he should be able. The cooldown, the internal cooldown on the ult for Silas is based on the base ult cooldown. So yeah, on ult on level 1 has like something like, I'm not sure, 80 seconds cooldown. So 80, 90 should be enough time.
We'll see, but they are going for the Rift Herald here, and I don't think FTV's they're in absolutely no position to contest this.
Yeah,
just a bad reset.
This is still a little bit of a result from the botched bot lane dive, but Rika gets more time in the side lane. And once again, I want to praise FTV for the side lane. They have gotten way more experience than VGA. If you look at Rika, he's level 11. Victory is level 11. No, only PHT is on the same level. CHP still, or Chip, to differentiate the two a little bit better, is still level 10, which is quite bad for On. Of course, you want to hit level 12 as soon as possible. So right now, there's a big experience lead for FTV, and if they can snowball the rise to level 16 quicker than VGA can get to a few On items, there's still hope for in team fights even.
Yep, but here is the Drake being spawned. We'll have to see what ult will get stolen here. They line it up, and it is the Ornal. He has it. Will he blow it? There it is. He blows the horn, gets some knockups. That's a lot of knockups for sure there. Scary.
Holy
Has to
moly.
stopwatch on the front line. Good Glacial Fissure. Big Infernum, and oh no, the Sombrero comes out as well. Now,
Oh
but it's a
no.
lot of damage being done to FTV. They're
Park
so
infection.
low. But I don't think VGA is going to be able to catch on to any of them. Rika, though, playing way too far forward there, takes so much damage, has to flash away. In the end, we remain...
still on the flank.
Oh, wow. Oh, my lord, he is. I wasn't even looking as he gets cleaned up. And Scary takes away an easy first blood.
First blood at 70 minutes. We LCK now. 3 dragons before the first kill comes in. And that's honestly just good play for VGA if you look at the whole game, because they don't need early kills. They just want to scale. So they are super happy with just waiting for the first blood for longer and longer. The dragon fight, it was quite unfortunate if you could look at the positioning for FTV's members, because they got damaged by the dragon a lot, especially the back line. Got hit by the Cloud Drake, which does attack very frequently, so you can lose a lot of health to it. So even though they had on ult against no on ult, and the enemy on still not on any on item, they still lost the fight. So I'm not sure how they are supposed to win any fights that happen later.
Yeah. It was unfortunate because it was actually a very good stolen on ult being used. But there's just no follow-up. The engage for FTV is actually pretty weak on the follow-up. And it's just too scary to engage into a lot of what VGA is bringing. But they have to fight around the next Drake for sure. Can't give a soul up at, 23 minutes? Not even, 21 minutes.
Once again, flash blown for PHT, so they really need to find a kill on him. They have now blown his flash twice and have not been able to capitalize with anything. So this needs to be the next objective.
There's a play coming in the top lane here. They're going forward. They do have the stolen Orianna ult. It only really hits one, though, and Kuriko's just going to go down instead. This is going very poorly. Truly looking like the match of the week, and that is spelt with an A, my friends, as Rika uses the suplex. Does get a huge haymaker there. Might be able to find something. Victory does pick up the kill onto PHT, but the health bars are so low. And here comes Aphelios. He comes in, gets the instant 2 kills, goes into the wiggly arm mode, and gets a triple kill there for Vit.
Yep, this game is very over.
Yep.
It's quite unfortunate to see because there has been no action whatsoever, so it's a little bit of a snooze fest this first game, but a very solid play for VGA. They countered the play that was quite obvious once again for FTV. I talked about them having to punish the flashless mid laner for VGA, but VGA was in the vicinity and able to punish the attempt here for FTV. Now it's a 5-1 kill lead, but let's look at the replay first.
Oh, that Orianna ult out of PHT was really good.
Victory didn't get to do anything there. He teleported in and instantly dropped down to 300 health, so he has to play this fight very carefully. Can't enter the fight until now. Now everyone is focused on Rika, so now he gets to use his combo and secure 1 kill on PHT. But look at his health, he's still super low, so now Vit has a very easy target to fire.
Vit did nothing. He got a triple kill doing nothing. He fired an ult and pressed Q.
He did enough to get the official MVP, so.
To be fair, I don't know where else I'd be putting him at the moment. Nothing's happened this game.
Yeah, that's true. It's a very good team effort. And it's quite interesting to see because it's still scary in the jungle. So the first game for VGA where they play a very solid game, even though they don't have Y1 in the jungle.
Yeah, I mean, we have to take any analysis we have of this team with a grain of salt because they are doing it against FTV. The FTV hasn't put up a fight. Hopefully they do put up one in the second map. Because with Baron going down here at 21 minutes, with the Drake spawning in 50 seconds, which would be Soul, as double ram, rams all the way across the river. Good ult there. Police has to flash away. Gets the bullet timeout, but it does absolutely nothing. Rika doing everything he can in the backline. Gets a big shield, but he's absolutely gone. FTV is on the run, and they've got nowhere to go. Or at least Kuriko doesn't, as he's getting hunted down. Silas will get slapped. Gets a nice heal, but Vit gets another one. And it's now a 5k gold lead for VGA.
Such good awareness for PHT to delay the on, or to prevent the on ram from the side of Kuroko. So use the Oriana ult to in the correct time. So Kuroko couldn't reactivate his ult. No on horn for them. I think in the end it wouldn't really have mattered probably, but
what I want to say is if
all
you
good awareness.
if you have a Silas and an Ornn, they both blow the Ornn horn, and the Rams like meet up. Can one headbutt hit them both?
Good question. So what you really want to see is that the two on thingies kiss each other.
I wasn't gonna put it like that because I don't want to think about Rams kissing each other. But you do you.
Look at this, the Oriole. Great positioning for PhD. That's solo one.
That Infernum as well hit 4 people.
Oh my, that damage on Police. Holy shit.
Police does nothing this fight. He just runs.
Yeah. It's pretty much what FTV have done all game. Nothing and running. Yeah.
Oh, and this is back to live, in fact, as we have another team fight. That time it was a much better stolen Oriana ult there, but it does not matter as they're going to be hunted down. And now Rika caught all alone like he's got coronavirus, and no one wanted to be near him.
Oh, man. There was a perfect positioning for Police. They just stood there and took it. Because Ornn doesn't care about bullet time, especially not about bullet time from no items on the side of MF. So yeah, Ornn felt good about standing in the middle of the bullet time, and now the game is the game has been over for like 10 minutes now.
Well, they also got a Cloud Soul, which we didn't even comment on. But yeah, they got Cloud Soul. This is absurdly over.
Yeah, Cloud Soul for. What champ profits the most from Cloud Soul? I'd say probably Karma here.
Karma likes it.
Karma likes it a lot.
Yes, I mean, I think it's good for Aphelios because he can use it while he's running away.
It's pretty useless for Oriana.
It's
it's nice to have a little bit more speed, but yeah, it's not quite as useful. For Ornn, it's kind of whatever. After you hit your ult, you don't really need to do a whole lot more anymore, so... it's always nice to have a little bit more movement speed, but it's not super impactful for Ornn, and for Jarvan, it's actually absolutely useless.
I mean, I think the one thing that is good about it, and it's often, like, I'm guilty of it as well, it's something that gets super overlooked, is you do just get 10% base moves.
Yeah, that's
so you just get around the map faster, which is good for everyone.
Actually opens up a lot of build paths, especially now for Oriana. If this game were to go to 6 items...
Has to flash, but there's the Aphelios. He got the Gravitum. There's a stolen Ram to try and separate the fight. Doesn't really do that very well, though. Rika with a big power slam, doing a lot of damage, but he just doesn't have the health. And Rika? It is 1 kill back, though. PHT goes down 1 for 1 so far. They could catch out Vit, and they do. The big crit from Police, but oh no, he gets 2 from the Death Realm. He gets another couple of kills, and now Kuroko and Victory, the only men left alive. Victory needs to dodge forever to try and get his jungler closer, but he's knocked up. He's going to get taken down. Kuroko, run away, son, run! As it is going to be 2-1 here, and Kuroko being hunted down. He will be taken to extinction.
Look at Ornn damage. The flash was needed. Nicely done, Scary. Nicely done. Showing off his jungler mechanics with a nice EQ flash on the J4. Absolutely unnecessary, but nice to see, nonetheless.
Yeah, another 1 fight there for VGA. Perhaps a little bit closer than it ever should have been.
Yeah.
Don't think they needed to go lose 3 people. Really?
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of a mistake for Vit in terms of positioning. But,
I'd love to know how he got 2 people after he died.
Yeah, let's look at this again. Maybe a turret or something. Yeah, he has Crescendum, so there's probably a turret somewhere.
Yeah, look where that turret's positioned. They can't walk through
look at the damage from the turret. Look at that. Crescendo is so disgusting.
Crescendo is... But yeah, here it is. The tower on the ground. Just... disgusting.
No, it's not okay. Crescendum Infernum has so much damage. So it was the Infernum turret. Now look at Victory. Never kite towards the wall against Ornn. Victory. I mean, in the end, it's the EQ from J4 that locks down the kill. But now look at Scary.
Yep, he needed this flash. It was really important.
Yeah, he really needed this flash here. This was...
Hey, at least he knows how to flash EQ.
Look very cool. Yep.
Like that's a bit of a mechanics check from Scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
As
Showing
the
his coach,
Orns,
yeah,
the
we don't
Orns
need
are
more on.
here, getting knocked up. But again, not a huge amount of impact for Kuruko's stolen ult. Will be able to kill PhD on
Oh,
the side, but
Kuroko.
Vit has started off. Chip
Nice.
actually taken over the wall by the suplex. Should be going down
Oh,
pretty
this is a good fight from
easily. This
FTV.
has started off really well. If they can
Vic is
finish him
still
off,
slow.
$700 in
Oh,
their
no, the turret.
pocket. Oh, the turret's a little bit scary, but they do manage to get away. Kuroko
Looking
now
menacingly.
is a little bit caught out. They've got the inside track to the inhib. Can they fend them off? This is dangerous here from VGA. You do still have a Silas on the flank. Oh no, he misses the E. He's just going to get burst down. Huge
Ah.
mistake here from Kuroko. One ground, managing to get away. Just for the record, so much impact out of this support role. I think that's the first time I've said his name. And
Oh, Rika's not here.
yeah, Rika's
Can
here,
Rika
but they
get
can't
top of them?
catch. They can't.
Nope.
You're a few seconds behind us, unfortunately.
Yep.
Might want to restart your stream. But yeah, that was, again, FTV playing it much closer than they possibly should have, but they still cannot win the fights.
Yeah. I mean, in the end, it was a 2-for-2, right? 3 people stayed alive. Should have been a 4-for. Oh no, Rika actually went down in the beginning, right? So
Yeah.
I guess it's a 2-for-3. Should have been a 2-for-2 because Goku died for absolutely no reason.
This will be a second Baron.
Now another Baron.
Yep.
This should be very easy to lock down for this team.
Elder Drake is about to spawn as well, so they'll just go Baron, walk straight down the river, and that's where
Kuroko's
FTV
still
has
not
to
here,
fight. Oh, there is Victory taking so much damage, dealing a fair bit in response. Ornn will eat the real Ornn Ram, but Rika's now dead. Victory is about to be dead,
bullet
unless he
time.
can win that one. No, I don't think he can. But it is a
Vit?
shutdown
Oh, good
onto
crit.
Vit. He's dead. Now they're moving forward. Kuroko looking really well here. This is actually a
Scary
fight
versus-
FTV
oh,
can
good
win.
strike.
Police is doing a lot of damage onto this Ornn. Biob being forced out by the Silas. Chip is
Look at
going to go
Ornn.
down. And I think, Karma will manage to get away, as will the Jarvan, but 3 of those purple suits are removed, as is the Elder Dragon threat. So that's actually a pretty good result for FTV.
Yeah, they should just instantly turn to Elder Dragon on. They have enough time to lock down the Elder Dragon. 30 seconds of wait, no teleport on CHP, and he's dead as well. So just go for the Elder, and it seems like they are calling this as well.
This
and
is
the game, for
this
some
is what
reason,
they need to do.
close now.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't
FTV
really know
with
why,
Elder,
but
can't really doubt that one. Goes
Yeah,
down to about...
this time-
Scary is here. Kuroko puts them in the
Scary.
cage just to try and keep them out for a
Yeah.
little while. They'll make it rain as well. Victor is here
Also
to
two
increase
dead
their
off the
DPS. But Scary is still here. But no, it's secured. FTV wants to turn the fight now if they can. But there's a good knock-up in the back line. Ground 1 might go down. No, never mind. Rika now doing a lot in the front. There's the Aphelios ult. Doesn't get that much done. Is there a bullet time? There's about to be. But here comes the Dragons. They're going to get some executes. As Kuroko now, again, a little bit caught behind enemy lines, but they don't know he's there. So in the end, oh, wow, okay, bullet time. A 1-for-1, but Elder Dragon secured, and it might turn into not a 1-for-1, because Kuroko cancelled his recall. But he should be okay. Oh, maybe, no, he won't. There's a ram coming.
Kuroko, no.
Kuroko, no,
Here's
he's
the
going to lose an
vulnerability,
Elder, he's going to lose an Elder buff. He just died.
watch.
That was so unnecessary.
Yep. Well, it's FTV after all, but they have done some very good work here in this game. Victory is level 16, so there's always the possibility of level 16 Rise just blowing up the whole team fight. For some reason, also Ornn is not as tanky as he should be. He went down Police in the last team fight when Police still does not have any kind of penetration. So a little bit surprising to see that. We have 3 on items coming in on other players. Still no on item or no upgradable item built for Scary, which is not the greatest. You should definitely go for a tank item. The tank items are insanely valuable. If you go for Sunfire, you can actually go for Sunfire. Even though Sunfire kind of feels bad to build on a jungler, you still get the on upgrade is more than 1,600 gold of value, so
Yeah,
it's still worth it. You could also go for a Frozen Fist if you want. Not super great on J4. And the last option would be the Circlet of the Solari.
I wouldn't mind that. I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
Help Vit stay alive.
Especially very, very strong in combination with Stone Plate, right? If you Stone Plate, you get more HP. circlet. So yeah, I'd like to see that. It's also very, very easy to build, but it seems like he wants to go for the Varmox, which is another non-upgradable item. So a little bit of suboptimal itemization coming in for VGA.
Yeah, it is definitely interesting, but there's a stolen Ornald again, but it's only hitting Chip a good Orianna ult to hold Rika back. Can they hunt him down? No, he charges away, having taken about a quarter of his health, or a third even. A lot being used from the side of FTV.
Try to get on, but of course you need more time to kill. This team is able to kill on, which is great, because sometimes we've seen be able to
but
deal
here's
with
the real Ornald. The suplex being used here. Chip was in the middle of nowhere because he was buying time for the backdoor. Vit coming storming through the top lane. This will be a free inhib. Don't think they're going to be able to end the game, but it is an inhib for 1 kill. You take those every day of the week, and they won't even get caught on the escape.
Yeah, FTV once again trying to outsmart the enemy every push. So unfortunate circumstances now for FTV. This inhibitor will probably not do a whole lot for VGA, especially with Ryze. They kind of need Baron, even though they have the inhibitor now, because Ryze can clear inhibitor waste forever, especially level 16 Ryze. So even though there's now the inhibitor or the super minions coming into through the top lane, no problem whatsoever for the Ryze.
So normally,
VGA still needs another objective.
Yeah. So normally, if you outsmart someone, you normally say you've been playing checkers, but I've been playing chess all along. When it's these two teams, is it like you've been playing checkers, but I was playing snakes and ladders all along? And then they go, I don't think that's actually smarter.
It's probably something like one party played tic-tac-toe and the other, what is the slightly more intelligent game? Not quite sure.
Go fish. There's not too many big brains in this one.
No. I'm a bit disappointed with VGA, I have to say. Their early game looked very clean. Up until 17 minutes, we had no kill, and now we're sitting at 34, so more than a kill a minute. It's quite ridiculous. VCS, remember they were the VCS and had to kill everyone all the time, so that's nice to follow the game, of course, but it's still...
It should be much cleaner for VGA. It should be so much cleaner for VGA.
Shouldn't have lost any teamfights, honestly, after the big lead. Kuroko is now level 14. With level 14 Silas is quite scary. We've seen Kuroko struggle a lot this game.
Oh, here we go. Another bit of a fight coming in. The Ornn ram does get eaten, but one ground just gets absolutely destroyed. Rico arriving in the middle of the enemy team, gets a big suplex, doesn't actually deal a lot of damage, and he's in the middle of enemy territory. There's the haymaker being used, but Police is already dead. Rico falls now, and Victory has to live up to his namesake. That little flash was actually pretty good out of Scary. It wasn't necessary, but it worked. And they should be able to just walk down the lane. And this should be game one. Very easily secured for VGA. It wasn't clean. It wasn't good to look at. But it is a win.
Yeah, and they clean up the game with a 5-0 ace. That is the most convincing thing you can do in the game. And finally, they finally found a spot where the teamfight strength of their composition, where it was able to shine. Also, a little bit of a positioning mistake for one ground. Of course, you always want to block the on-horn, but not at the expense of your life. So in the end, VGA able to walk away with the game. Should have been 10 minutes earlier, to be honest. But I mean, they are the bottom of the table team, so we don't really expect them to be able to close the game quickly. Yeah. And it's still a very good showing for them, especially in draft. I think the strongest part of their gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, they got carried by their draft. Let's be totally honest. Draft majorly got them over the line.
Absolutely.
So, we have to talk about MVPs. Is it Ornn for clicking on the items to upgrade them?
Scary had some very good team fights.
Yeah, he carried the early game as well.
Orianna had some very good team fights as well.
Yeah.
And she hard won her lane against Victory. Victory made a few bad choices with TPs, of course, but she still was able to punish him for that. So it's between PHT and Scary for me, I think. Not sure whom to give it to, though.
Leaning towards Scary because we give him a lot of crap and he had a pretty good game.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there were some sombreros as well.
Yeah. There was the
Some
sombreros.
very, very bad.
Yeah. So I think we'll lock in Scary for that one. And
yep, let's go.
Yep.
It's really more a draft victory
yeah,
than an MVP for Scary. It's not like he hard carried this game. He had a very good game, hit all the EQ flashes he needed to, and some he didn't need to, but he still hit them. So very good to see. Clean mechanics, had a solid early game as well. Maybe not the most punishing early game into Salas. You could potentially exploit him even more in the early game, but he did what he had to do and had good team fights also to lock down police. Sometimes I remember the team fight top of the river, right? The top side of the river. He was able to lock down police and get the kill for his team. So very good look for Scary. And yeah, Y1, you can go back to military apparently.
Oof. Know about that one. Y1, please come back.
Yeah, please come back.
But we will be back in, it's around about 8 minutes or so. There will be a timer on screen for game 2 to see if FTV can bounce back or if VGA will be adding a second feather to their cap. We'll see you guys in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning in. We love to have you here.
You.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back for game 2 of FTV. Taking on VGA. VGA with a, we'll call it dominant performance in game 1. Had a amazing early game and then let the VCS creep into them a little bit, but did end up closing it out in the end. And are up 1-0. Can FTV redeem themselves or will they remain series winless? And make both of us look very silly because I'm pretty sure we both have them winning this.
Yeah. I already have a lot of egg on my fire. And I don't want more. Please, FTV, come on.
So no. what does FTV need to do to potentially get game 2? They need to get a better draft. Ban all our Aphelios.
Yeah, don't give up Aphelios on as the first. That is almost a detriment in itself. But Django is in for CHP. That is weird, but we'll talk about that a little bit in the draft later on. A little bit different than Chips. But yeah, On needs to be either banned or first picked. FTV, FTV should be on red side now. So maybe they can trade Aphelios On. I'd say On is a little bit higher priority than Aphelios, even though Aphelios looked super OP in the last game.
So did On.
So did On. Well, On always does. Of course he is. He doesn't look OP, he is OP.
Yeah.
To be fair, Aphelios is too, but not quite as OP. So I think they also need to find something in the early game. Victory was a little bit too eager and it was too telegraphed where they wanted to go with their gangs. So they need to find a little bit more of a sneaky path to one of the side lanes and try to sync up all the teleports to get a big early advantage. Maybe go for the gunplay, a 4-minute bot lane dive, of course. Yeah, I was not too happy with their early movement around the map. And if they don't want to go for early commitment, then just draft for late game, right? Because either you have to commit to either side. Either you go for late game and don't do a lot of in the early game, or you try to dominate the early game, but don't go for something that can't really do a whole lot against the enemy team comp later, and then also don't do anything in the early game. That's
Yeah, it was a bit of a mess overall for FTV. Is there any champions in particular you'd like to see added or... Oh, shit. I clicked the wrong button there on OBS. My bad. Sort of removed from their pick pool. Obviously, we'd like to see them having Ornn.
Yeah. Honestly, their composition wasn't that bad. I wouldn't be too unhappy with them just running back their composition and banning the 2 OP champs on the other side. Because if you don't have to deal with Ornn Aphelios, suddenly the MF is the strongest ADC. Suddenly the Ryze can probably win whatever side lane he's up against and push up and push down. Of course, Ryze into Orianna is still a very hard matchup in the team fights to play. Should still be fine. Victory is quite a confident Ryze player. So then we have the strongest top laner on the side as well with Set. Sorry,
I don't think Victory is a particularly good Ryze player. Confident.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, maybe he can trick himself. or think he's good, and then show us he's good.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he thought he's good. Yeah, he had some pop-off games already. I think back to his one Aatrox performance where he was almost able to carry FTV to victory, carrying 4 corpses through the line or over the line.
True, he has nearly dragged them sometimes. But,
yeah, sometimes.
Still not going to be very easy for FTV to keep themselves in this series. I think we did just see that VGA is looking better overall. Particularly if Scary is slotting in at least somewhat well as we hit Champ Select.
Yeah, there we go.
What's going to be picked up this time if there's going to be too many differences?
Can the Witcher this time do something and draft?
Yeah, can he remember how to draft? Hopefully they've talked to him.
The Witcher needs to analyze a lot, right? It needs the weaknesses of the enemies.
Use those Witcher senses.
Poisons and stuff. Yeah. I mean, you can transfer that to League of Legends drafts. So hopefully he came up with a potion to give his players, a poison to apply to the enemy team.
I've played half of one Witcher game. I know what I'm talking about. Haven't even watched the show. Haven't even watched the show. But once again, we do see this Shyvana ban. Is Shyvana a legitimate pick in the VCS? She has what?
It is now.
A 75% win rate or something?
Yeah. 3 or 4
she's
games.
won 3, lost 1, I think.
Or 2-1. I'm not quite sure. But she is 1-1. That's for sure. They just first picked MF over On.
That's interesting. I mean, if Rika doesn't pick up Ornn here, I'm going to be very upset.
Yeah. So we wanted to talk about Django a little bit. Django is more of the carry player for Adonis' side, and most of the time when they slot in Django, they want him to either play Soraka or carry. But he has played one Ornn game as well, so if FTV for some reason doesn't pick up the Ornn here,
if this is locked in, it's possibly that is the worst rotation. I'm done. See you guys. I'm turning the stream off. I'm gone. See ya.
Shit. What is this?
What have they just done? Does FTV want to go 0-14 this split?
Yeah, I think so. I'm convinced.
Are they doing a Vivictus? Like they just want to sell their spot or something?
Maybe. Yeah. This is unbelievably bad.
That is atrocious. Then PHT, they just pick Ornn here. This is free.
Hello, Ornn. Hello.
Yeah, this isn't. You don't need to think, Adonis. Just pick Ornn.
What is going on?
There's no thinking.
Ornn just dominated game 1, and you're like, nah, he didn't do anything. We don't need Ornn again.
Kai'Sa.
Thank you.
They're not even contested champions.
I definitely have some hope for Adonis after seeing these drafts. Never predicting FTV again? Yeah,
I'm never. FTV. I am never ever predicting them again. That is.
Oh God, what is this?
This is atrocious.
Victory and his coach are debating picks right now, and might once again be a Sylas, which to be fair is good into all 3 champs on the other side.
It doesn't need to be.
Oh, it's also lane Sylas this time. Yeah. That's interesting.
Oh, I mean, this is FTV. It could be lanely soon.
What? I mean, you're not wrong. Maybe it's one ground's solo queue champ. So we get to see.
They could have picked Braum. They could have picked Braum to counter the Ornn. Like now, that just gets banned.
Ornn and MF, by the way. Braum is.
They banned it. What?
So done with FTV.
What? I just had to move. As soon as I saw that, I pulled my microphone away from my face because I knew I was going to yell. What, FTV? What?
I don't even know what to say anymore. It's so.
Why do we cast this league?
Yeah, the match of the week, by the way. Match of the week.
Whoever runs the Twitter, we need to have a talking, all right? Me and you, we're going to have a bit of a chat in the alley next to my place. This was not match of the week.
Oh my God. The Braum ban is so next level. I don't
This is unreal how
So
terrible
here's
this
the
draft.
reason why they banned all Braum. Do you follow? It's you're scared of the Braum in the enemy team because he can deny your on ult.
Yeah, sure. But you wouldn't just pick it. You had first pick after the bans. Like, nah, totally. And now 3 supports have got down, so they're going to have to go to Blitzcrank, it seems. Okay, Blitzcrank Kaiser is a bot lane in 2020. I wanted to say 2019
Apparently.
because that might make some sense. But no, it's 2020.
87.5% win.
Yeah,
win
Blitzcrank's
rate
actually
for
looked pretty
2020.
good in the BBL in particular. Might be answered
But
by the Morgana.
yeah, very good answer. Of course, into the Blitzcrank. They could have last picked the Blitzcrank here, so now they opened up the last pick top lane. Not sure why. You have Rika on your team. I'm
And
not
you're
sure
going
what
into
they
Ornn.
want to pick for Rika.
Like, no one really smashes Ornn.
Yeah, maybe they want to last pick mid lane and put the Silas in the top side. So it's still a bit of a flex pick here. Silas into
I wouldn't really want to say
Cassiopeia.
Silas into Cass seems pretty true. I haven't played Silas in a long time. Don't really know how that matchup goes, but overall, this is just.
I like this a lot. This is something that especially EVOS has played a lot, of course, with TH in the top lane. It's an on answer. Okay, never mind me. It's Camille. Okay. Well,
this has to be.
This is Rika special.
This has to be one of the worst drafts I've ever seen.
Yep.
This is like you fire your coach mid-game. He walks, like, you know how the coaches always do the thing where they walk off, they like shake their hand and stuff? They should have a camera angle and the general manager of FTV is going to be standing there watching him shake the other coach's hand and be like, give me your badge. We're done. Get out.
Yeah. I am not sure if you could draft worse if you had like an algorithm do it for you that just picks random meta champs. I'm not sure if you can create a worse composition.
I mean, it wouldn't pick Kaiser because she's not meta.
Probably.
Their first rotation. Not first rotation.
Yeah, definitely not first rotation. I agree with that.
They went first. They see a misfortune pick, and then they go, "All right, so Ornn is available." No, we do. Ornn, look, Ornn's good, but you know who's better? Lee Sin and Kaiser. Yeah, boys. And then you're up against Ornn and MF. What's one champion that counters both of the things those champions want to do? Braum. Better ban him. Don't want to be too mean to the opponent. We'll ban him away.
The ban is really something.
Oh my god. This is
or not picking
horrific.
the Braum is quite int, but banning it yourself is so next level. It's unbelievable. Oh god. Okay, so of course, because we're in the VCS now, with this draft advantage, Adonis can't win.
Yeah, of course. It's the VCS, so the good draft doesn't
We're heading into game 3, boys and girls. This draft is really something we can talk about a lot, I guess, in the next few weeks.
Is there stuff to talk about it? It's just there's no like nuance or anything. It's like, oh wow, they really came from left field. No, they came from. They didn't even come into the stadium. They're in the car park fighting a lamp. They're doing a fight club and beating the shit out of themselves outside a bar. Like, this is the worst draft ever. Maybe there's a tech pause because someone actually hacked into FTV's computers and picked the wrong champions.
Nope. Sadly, no. The Kaiser priority is, I still don't understand. Especially, I mean, even if you want to pick Kaiser here, are you scared of banned in the second phase? You can just pick her up as R4 or R5.
I mean, are you scared of Lee Sin?
Why do you prioritize?
Are you seeing Lee Sin or Kaiser getting banned out like early or picked up early? They're not contested.
Yeah, it's quite strange.
Look, I'll say it again. I'm a play-by-play caster. I've got like a pea-sized brain. But VCS teams,
it's not true.
If you're hiring, I'm not that far a flight away. I'll move. I don't speak Vietnamese, but I can draw like a little picture of the champion. I'll do it right now because we've got a pause.
I can learn to understand.
No, shut up, computer. Sorry, everyone. That was my Windows trying to talk to me. I'll show how I'll coach, but you go ahead and actually talk about useful things.
Yeah, useful things like the FTV draft. Not so much. So one ground is still in. We will get to see him on a carry champ this time for Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank into MF, not the worst. Blitzcrank into On, not great. You obviously don't want to grab the On, and On can even choose if he wants to get grabbed or not, because of course he can just immune the CC with W. So quite hard to play into the frontline tank. The bot lane, Kaiser Blitzcrank into MF Morgana should be very MF Morgana focused early on as we hit the rift.
But we are in the rift. All right, we'll talk about it in the break. As I don't know how FTV wins this. It's going to be so difficult.
Ugh, yeah. So all the lanes have to smash, or at least our top and mid lane have to smash, which, looking at the matchups, top lane can. It's actually not quite as easy for Camille early on to fight into on 2.5. Actually on 2 items on is super strong. So Camille needs a lot of time to outscale the on in the side lane. And third, it's Rika, so he will probably not win lane either. So top lane is probably just a wash. They will trade CS, maybe even win trades for Django. So top lane is not where you want to play through. Mid lane is a hard matchup, so maybe you can accelerate mid lane with a good gank, but it's not too probable. And bot lane is a very hard matchup as well. So even just looking at the lanes, it's not easy. It's
not easy at all.
They've
really
drafted next level stuff here.
It will be vertical jungling at least, as it was the red buff stolen away. They should know all about it though, so yeah, we should see Scary move across, but Victories might get a little bit baited here. We've got a level 1 2v2, but Victory's starting at very low health here. He has to flash away. PHT now is low. Kuriko wants to finish this one off, and he can. Good flash. Now he has to try and get away. Oh wow, the W, a little bit of ping pong there between the two champions. And that's a good start here for FTV. Yep. They get a very early
very
first
nicely done. Kuriko, big display of mechanics there. Nice to see him perform on the Lee Sin. He's one of the most criticized players, rightfully so, I'd say, in this leagues right now. Very bad jungler. One of the biggest detriments for his team so far in the season. But this was a very good play for him. And now Victory is still on very aggressive, and he has to trade aggressively into Cassiopeia. This matchup early on, you can kind of utilize your mana advantage on the Sylas. Of course, Cassiopeia can win trades against the champion, so you need to force her to burn her mana, and then you can dominate the lane. But right now, Victories has fallen behind in experience and is only sitting on 3 CS. So even though they got the kill in the mid lane, it's still not easy for them.
Yeah, one thing to note though is that because of the way the early play went, Scary has not actually gone to the Lee Sin's red buff, but we'll come back to that as we do have a gank down in the bot lane. Biob should be able to get out, should still have the grab, just waiting for it. He's pacing back. No, he must have used it at the start. Biob though still taking a lot of damage. Can we get that Kaiser passive proc? No, here comes a knock up, but Police will get the kill. Scary now has the shield, but PHT has arrived. This is going to be a little bit dangerous for FTV. They throw the hook to try and get something on the back. No, Kuriko, you need to run, son, as he's in a lot of trouble now, and he just instantly dies to Scary. This Lee Sin early pick absolutely paying dividends for VGA as they get 3 kills in the bot lane.
What was that movement? Kuriko, why don't you just run away?
Good question.
Okay, 3-2 for VGA. This is much more from the two worst teams in the VCS playing early game against each other. No waiting for 70 minutes for the first kill. 5 kills at 4 minutes. This is right on time. More than 1 kill a minute. And I mean, we're actually slacking right now. This league is slacking off because we're in below 1 kill per minute. There's the grab coming in at Biob. So now grab is not available. Ground is walking towards them. You can't really Blitzcrank. Not very useful. Look at Scary, very good flash. Once again, he has practiced his EQ flash. Now PHT is here, and Oh, we have another fight.
That we
Another
do,
EQ.
down in the bot lane, and iGround will be going down. Said iGround because he's playing Blitzcrank, but no, one ground.
I like iGround.
I mean, iGround, more like iInt. I don't know. Because it's not looking good down there for sure. Already 0-2.
Oh. Yeah, well, this game might snowball in VGA quicker than the that said, last game. It took them 70 minutes to lock down the first kill, but they had a very, very good Dragon Snowball. So let's see if they can repeat that success as well. They've now established control in the mid lane, and their bot lane should be winning as well. Look, oh God, it's a 2-0-2 MF early on in the game.
Yeah, this is terrifying.
It's terrifying, yeah. Also 40 CS to 20. Of course, all the lanes are winning in CS, but top lane and iGround might be...
Yeah, iGround might die again. He might go 0-3 in about 5 minutes as he is trying to get away. Does go down. PHT getting the kill.
Scary.
Victory as well. Will go down as well. Double kill. Looking good. And there's the knock-up. The bounce house is in. And, we get 1 kill back. The shutdown onto the Jarvan. But again, 3 dead in the mid lane. FTV absolutely falling apart.
Yep. That they are. Very, very good timing for BO3, because we can't really talk about too much here. It's obvious VGA is just stomping FTV, so let's just point out some cool little mechanical plays. BO3 hit his Q exactly at the right time to stop the re-engage for, I think it was Kuroko or Victory, not quite sure. We'll get to see the replay. But yeah, perfect timing on the Dark Binding for BO3, prevented the fight from swinging FTV's way. And now VGA is sitting on a 4-kill lead and 1.5k gold. Roughly.
Yeah, they're just miles ahead at this point. How do you possibly come back against this when there's going to be all?
So I'm not quite sure what iGround is doing here.
No, I have no idea.
Gets knocked up.
He didn't even put a ward down or anything. Why was he there?
Yeah, Victory gets stunned, so he can't use his E, which delays the damage from Salis a lot. Very good Q from BO3, and now it's 4v1 against Rika. Rika gets the kill, nicely done. Good awareness to use his ult there to knock the enemies away and buy enough time to finish the kill on Scary. Still, in the end, it's only 1 kill to, I think it was 3 for the side of VGA, so 1 for 3 trade. Dragon going over to FTV, so at least they stopped the early Dragon Snowball, this time for VGA.
Yep. Yeah, VGA definitely looking very good so far, but it is, the light in the darkness that they did pick up that Infernal Drake, but it's still a very, very dark cave, and I think I can hear a train coming. They can get running. Hey, Kaiser's got a dash. Maybe she can dodge it.
Yeah.
Maybe she can justify the first pick.
I don't think so either. So we see another swap. Both teams handshake on top side. Last game we saw VGA being aware of the swap and just staying bot lane because they knew they had Crescendum and could just outpush the potential push from the from Shelly. This time they don't have Crescendum, so they want to contest Shelly as well. FTV swapped up to the top side as well. Both teams are on the top side. FTV is not on time, so they actually swap for no reason. They will just give up.
So bad.
Okay, Kuroko is not spotted them. He's 1 level up on Scary, actually. Better smite, but BO3 is here. Oh, the stun.
And this is a ground and another easy kill for Vit. It's a 3-0-4 MF at 8 minutes. How do you possibly come back, FTV?
I mean, Kaiser is going to carry late game, of course.
Of course.
So also not quite sure what Jago is doing. Why is he not in the bot lane? He just gave a free plate over to Rika. So
doesn't matter.
Nah, it doesn't matter. It's still weird to see. So now VGA has the Rift Hole top. Not too happy with their usage. Of course, we all know that he should use the Rift Hole on the last 2 platings. So should have pushed the first 2 platings without the Rift Hole. This way, they only get the early 2 plays. Oh, Rika gets baited in.
Yep, that he does. PHT, though, doing so much damage. This Cassiopeia is a very, very scary snack.
Snack.
And this is... What is there even to say? FTV, you deserve to go 0-14.
Yeah. Well, I'm still very impressed with VGA's early game. Last game we've praised them a lot as well. They've looked. Their mid game was a little bit iffy. They lost just in the side lanes. Let's see if they can this time lock it down a little bit cleaner and get the victory maybe before 30 minutes in, because they should. They are 2k gold ahead with an outscaling composition, so of course they don't need to finish early on. They have MF, they have Cassio, very strong team fighting composition. But it would be nice to see them finish the game.
Yeah, I mean, they do need to close it out very quickly. I've also got to applaud, as obviously we have been focusing on the FTV draft because it is disastrous. But VGA has managed to draft very, very well in both games. To be fair, it's not difficult to draft super well when the other team decides they don't actually like strong champions. You get to have all of them. But still, they didn't make any woeful decisions. Did manage to find Ornn both games.
Yeah, and they didn't even first pick Ornn this game, which always was a very strange decision.
I mean, I've showed the stream how I would coach the VCS. Proud of my masterpiece. I'm going to show it again. This is my contribution to the VCS. Coach, coaching.
Sadly, my Twitch stream is from but I'll see. I'll ask you after the game's over to show it to me again. So, game has slowed down a little bit. 11 minutes in, and yeah, nothing is really happening because VJ is content just farming lanes and collecting plates. So yeah, nothing to fault them for. Next dragon will be there in 14 seconds, and they have.
VGA has no reason to take any risks. You're already so much further ahead than you even need to be. You have great scaling. You hard out scale. This is so easy. I'll get this.
I have a very important question though. Yep. What is Ornn building right now?
Frozen Mallet. No, not Frozen Mallet. Bloody Frozen Fist.
Is he?
I assume that's what the Aegis is going.
I guess so.
I don't know what else it would be.
I mean, this looks like Righteous Lorry, but I hope he's not building Righteous Lorry. That would be next level.
Ooh, here comes a dive. FTV should be able to find something for free here as Django will go down. Kuriko getting that kill, but down in the bot lane. One ground has to go into the stopwatch, but does manage to survive.
Yep. Stopwatch was just with the bot lane duo, so now he has to back off, and this will be probably another 2-3 plates. Scary see as well. He spotted PHT is approaching. They didn't.
Ooh, wow, now that's a very deep roam. As it did look like they're going to be going forward, that Morgana binding does miss. So Police has to stay in his chair. He can't get hit by the binding. Ooh, the flash! There it is! Scary, in a lot of trouble. Goes golden immediately, but the boys have arrived. Rika dealing a fair bit of damage, forcing another stopwatch out of Bob. Scary will be the first one to fall. The rest of VGA has to find the way out. Terrible W there. Where the hell was that going? But in the end, it doesn't matter. As that is a free kill.
Already used as well.
It didn't matter. Yeah.
There was
good job, FTV.
Nice little play
they got a
for
kill.
FTV. Yeah, got a kill top, got a kill bot. Now back almost even in gold, so they stabilized a little bit. Got a few plates in the top lane as well. So it's now 2 plates on the top side. It's 2 plates for VJ and 1 plate for FTV in the bot side. So almost even in terms of plate gold. I'm a little bit confused. The gold is this even when we look at the kill score, still being 3 kills in favor of VGA. And there's the significant CS lead, of course, in the jungle. Look at the jungle lead. What is going on?
Oh my word. Hello? How has there been a 40 CS in the jungle? Whoa, where did that come from?
Good flash grab. Also, I like the stopwatch for Scary, immediately deterring the enemy team from focusing him. But then, sadly, his team was not there to cover for him, so he still went down. 2 stopwatches also blown for VGA, so not only the kill, but also 2 stopwatches, which is nice for the next fight for FTV.
Absolutely. FTV is trying to find a way back into this one. They're only 500 gold down now because of particularly that jungle advantage. Vit now very caught out, immediately dies. Scary knocked up as well. Django's going to be coming in to try and help out. Bob has arrived as well. Really good knock up into the chains, but Bob walks a little bit too far back there, breaks the ult. So they can't lock anyone else down. And in the end, it's just another free kill for FTV, and they're now in a gold lead.
Yeah, it's only very slight gold lead, of course, but they game after No one would have really thought they would get back into the game this easily. Few mistakes here and there for VGA's players. This time Vit is getting caught, or got caught, and Kuroko is level 9 to Scary is level 7. So Kuroko is actually playing a very strong game on his Lee Sin. Started the game off with a very good first blood in the mid lane, and then just power farmed a lot of the time. Is almost 50 CS up on Scary and 3 levels now, the advantage as well. I like this.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Secure it. Not going to use the hook on anything else. That makes some sense to me. Well done there from one grand. Actually looking all right on the Blitzcrank. Had a very, very dodgy early game. Went down 3 times when he absolutely didn't need to. But when he's, he's stabilizing, he's back to 0-3-3, which is fine for a support. Fine.
It is. Yes, he's building towards the stone plate, which I don't really like on Blitzcrank, I have to say. You can just ignore the Blitzcrank most of the time. So stone plate doesn't really make a whole lot of sense on this champ, in my opinion. So if you get caught, of course, you live a little bit longer, but you shouldn't play for the option of getting caught or for the possibility of getting caught. That's just saying I'm bad, so I have to itemize against my being bad. So not great. I think he should go for speed items most of the time. You like to go Righteous Slurry, you like to go for the Shurilius as well to have more speed.
I don't mind stuff like Knight's Vow or Zeke's in
Knight's
particular.
Vow is nice.
I like Zeke's on him.
Utility items. Yeah. Selfish items of Blitzcrank just don't really make a lot of sense. He's already the champ that scales the worst with the game, in my opinion. So yeah, just use your gold. Yeah, use your gold for utility, not for selfish purposes.
Yeah, I agree with that. The question, of course, is can they continue to potentially snowball back into this one FTV it is, as we are getting the Mountain Drake spawned. VGA looks like they want to contest this amazing grab there, but Scary has to get back. He does manage to get back out, but now he's... Oh my god, PhD just flashing over, getting some big stuns there. The dragon will be secured by Kuroko. The ram comes in, doesn't do anything much of anything at all. Big bullet time, Scary's already dead. Victory has to go golden, but he's going to be in the middle of the enemy team. Should go down immediately. Never mind, he's just walking away. And VGA, though, they are snowballing this fight. Can Vit find the last auto attack? Needs... no, doesn't have the flash up. And can't quite get the strut move speed. Police did kill Biob. And it, in the end, was a very even fight. VGA actually coming out worse for wear. Yeah, they lost the dragon.
Got the dragon as well, which is not great for VGA, of course, because they want drakes for the tanks. Very surprising outcome. Very aggressive flash from PhD. Maybe a little bit overzealous, maybe. Not enough damage to lock down the kill. I think if you could do this on 4 or 5 items...
Oh, wow, Vit.
Speaking of one-shotting in police... oof.
Kaiser, first rotation. That was a bit of a one-shot.
Holy. Yeah, MF has a lot of damage, even without IE. And now IE is finished, so the next team fight should... PhD in a little bit of trouble in the bot lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Has been caught out. He's trying to slither away here. Can he find his way out? Kuroko doesn't actually have a ward to use for hopping because he's got the Herald, but no, he's in a lot of trouble. They turned away from the ult. Well done. Should be able to give this kill over to Rika, and they do.
And another kill in the top lane. Wow, FTV's popping off.
FTV, they're fighting back. They're fighting strong. Raise your fists up to the sky and give FTV your energy because they need to keep going.
A PhD, good 3-man stun, and also good Black Shield to prevent the counter engage. But PhD just doesn't have the... Police drops pretty low. Victory stays alive, even though he tanked the full bullet time here. And now look at Bio, he gets caught, Police kills him here. Victory is still alive. Victory actually gets away. So yeah, nicely done. And another turret goes down for FTV.
Yeah,
FTV,
that was 2 towers.
Full on the driver's seat now.
Yeah, FTV absolutely taking the bull by the horns. Maybe we flamed their draft just a little bit too much and they're playing comfort because so far they're looking very, very good. This massive jungle CS lead has not let up. Still a 60 CS lead. It's just gone to 50, but still a massive CS lead in the jungle.
Yeah, and all the carries are very strong on VGA side as well. Her third Two very strong items, of course, completed for Vid, who has had a very strong game on DMF, very good positioning in teamfights as well. So just a very good setup right now for VGA. For VGA, even though FTV is still in the lead. So jungle is the biggest gold disparity. I would really like to see the gold totals right now, because I would imagine there's something like 1.5k gold lead between the junglers, or 1k probably. So all the gold lead in the jungle, and that's not really where you want your gold lead to be. Of course, it's still nice to see the jungler popping off for FTV, but they need to transition the gold over to Virika, who's also very strong right.
Yeah, the thing is, though, is FTV, obviously, they're going to be happy with the position they're in, considering the early game. The fact that they're managing to be in the driver's seat at all is very, very impressive. However, it is still a very, very strong Cassiopeia and a very, very strong MF, but they're going to lose an inhib turret. And if no one backs, they're going to lose an inhib.
Yeah,
they're going to try and trade it for Baron.
Side lane play for VGA has really not been great this.
This is an inhib for not even the Baron, because Scary's caught out here. This is going to be a smite fight, and FTV get it. No, they don't. I tell a lie. But they do get it, as it was actually the kill, and then it was taken by Rika. So far, FTV getting the absolute lion's share here, but Kuriko a bit caught out. They lose 2 kills, but they get Baron and an inhibitor.
Yeah, the perfect storm for FTV, and VJ is just across the map. They didn't know what to on against Camille. Camille can just ignore the on, and if an on is not able to clear quickly enough, then Camille just goes, okay, on, do whatever you like. I'll just use my Q on the turret, the best turret pusher in the game, potentially, or at least the best pro-viable turret pusher in the game. So yeah, there we go. Very nice decision making for FTV, and we have to praise Rika this game, although we always say he's not a great laner. He has a lot of deficiencies here and there, but his Camille side lane play is one of the best in the league. And once again showing us why this is one of his favorite champs, one of the champs he has performed very well on last summer.
Yeah, absolutely. This is now going to be the 3rd dragon started up for FTV. Scary is in the region, but I don't think there's even a chance to contest, and no, he won't even go for it. So Soul Point. If FTV secure a Mountain Soul, they've got to be favoured to win, right?
Yeah. I mean, the side lane outscale has. Even the teamfights are not as clear-cut as they should be, looking at the champs. So yeah, we might look at the FTV victory here. Even though they got outdrafted hard this game, or they outdrafted themselves, they might win this game. And then the bad thing is, of course, the feedback loop will come in, and they'll say, okay, that was a good draft. We won. So the draft was good. So let's go for first
Maybe it is a good draft. Again. Like, you know how sometimes, I think it might have been LS, like a year or so ago, has said, if you ever want to see the meta, look at what random bronze players are doing, because they don't know what they're doing and they'll accidentally discover something OP. Maybe that's what we're witnessing here. We're witnessing the bronze players live on stream.
Hey man, in terms of play, it has looked very good so far.
I understand.
Look at Jungle. He needs to flash away from Victor.
Yeah,
good to see C denial for the on.
Using that horn, does manage to immune it with the W, looking pretty good.
Yeah, and also look at the item. They have realized on is going full, and what have they done? They just sent their AP solo laner. Yeah, and he's stomping on. So very good decision making once again for FTV. Their lane assignments in the later stages of the game look quite good, especially for a team that is 06. I don't want to say they are great at side lane, but of course you have to also consider they are 06. They've not won, so for that standard, they look quite strong. Frozen Fist is here. Cassiopeia is still looking to scale up. 3 items now completed. And look, now we get to see the goal totals. Look at that top lane difference.
Oh my god, that is so ridiculously brutal. That is 5,000 gold in the top lane.
The funniest thing about this
is only 2,000
right now, Camille can't solo kill.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the thing.
On.
Because it's on. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can't believe he's got. I mean, going the Frozen Fist seems a little bit dangerous. As here goes that Rika, has gone straight onto PHT, uses the ult, but
Great
everyone
engage.
managed to turn around, taking so much damage, and this should be the Cassiopeia caught out. BOB now will go down as well, cut in half by Rika. Scary being hunted. This could be the game just kind of ending in front of us. Bullet Time doing a lot of damage will stop any further engage. And FTV continuing to snowball a lead that they really should not have.
Yeah, very aggressive plays, just coming out of nowhere, killing 2 people. 4k gold will be 5k soon, and will they be able to knock down another inhibitor? Of course, they've already secured the most important inhibitor, which is bot side, so the next Baron should be easy. But if they can get another inhibitor in the mid lane, they should also have free, the free priority over the Dragon Pit. But now the counter engage.
Here's the counter engage for sure. Victory should be going down momentarily. There is a redemption. No, he manages to flash away. Could potentially re-engage, but I don't think he ever will. One ground, Sacrificial Lamb. PHT going forward at absolute light speed. Can he get anything done? Is getting the tags. Kuriko should be going down as well. Very well done. Yeah, the Black Shield was clutch to stop any kick shenanigans, as the kick was used, but it didn't do anything. But FTV still in a dominating position.
Yeah, sadly, this fight doesn't really do a whole lot for VGA. Because if you look at the timers, 1 minute till Baron, or 1 minute till point. So right now, they didn't really gain anything. And now, if PHT dies here, this might just be game.
Yep, I think this will be game, as PHT is just dead. The chains come out from Morgana, but I don't think they're going to do anything. In fact, they're just stolen away. That's a double kill.
Look at this super strong champ, prioritized in the rightful the first round. Kaiser popping off.
This is, like... I don't know how this is happening. I mean, look, to be fair, we've got to eat a little bit of humble pie. We flamed this super hard, and I don't think we were wrong to do that. But in the end, maybe they've just picked comfort. They've realised they're a bottom tier team, and they just said, let's not try and play meta. We're not good at meta.
We have kind of seen this trend developing for FTV, right? They've back to Lucian, a lot of 5 Lucian games for Police, and he looked strong on Lucian, even though Lucian bot lane is not quite as good as Lucian in solo lanes, but they have said, okay, we just want Lucian in the bot lane because we know Police can carry, and of course, Kaiser was one of Police's best champs as well last season, so makes sense. Rika's best champ or second best champ on Camille makes a lot of sense as well. Kuriko was really feeling it on the Lee Sin today, so it seems like it's very, very much comfort draft. I mean, you still kind of have to analyze the 2 team compositions and say this VGA draft shouldn't ever lose to FTV's draft on 10%.
You can't analyze it as comfort. This is a bad draft that they're making work.
Yep. And through great mechanical plays and good side
comes the Ram, and that is actually the Dragon being taken there. Well done. Delaying the Soul could potentially keep them in this one. Can we see a big bullet time? We absolutely can. Dealing a lot of damage. One ground's nearly dead. But oh no, it doesn't matter because VGA is just melting away.
Police.
3 of them are dead. Police throws himself into the back line. Really no one there to contest him. Vit is got to do it all.
Oh, he's still dead.
And yep, there is the hooks. Vit could absolutely go big here, but no. As I stumble and forget how to talk, they forget how to play. And this should just be game. Yeah, it is. This is just game.
Did you see Jenko in the team fight?
Yeah, didn't do much. Didn't do much.
He teleported over the wall. He took 4 seconds to enter the Dragon Pit. And he had flash available. He could have just flashed over the wall. By the way, what was that? So
but this really came down to Rika had a real scary trying to do something with BO, but I don't think they can fend this off.
They can't do anything now.
This is over.
It's over.
This game sort of came down to Rika. I mean, we didn't comment on it in the draft because we had other things to talk about. But Rika on Camille, it's actually really good for him. I didn't mind that pick at all. That part of the draft was great.
Yeah, and I didn't think Camille would get to scale beyond, but they invested a lot of resources to get ahead. Of course, they top lane, and that paid off big time. Of course, on also with some very, very, very weird movement around the map. He missed a lot of CS. He missed a lot of experience, so he fell behind the levels, and then he couldn't really stand up to Rika anymore. And Rika just split pushed all game, entered the team fights, and Camille is not that bad a team fighter. She's not Fiora. She's of course not as strong as Ornn is, but if it's a fat Camille sitting on 4 items, your ADC pretty much doesn't get to play the game. So
yeah, and
Rika
suddenly
played an almost perfect Camille game. Early game was a little bit iffy, but everything past that,
Yulwei, are you starting to feel a little bit of hope that maybe our picks pay off? I just want to point out to the stream, me and Yulwei, we both said 2-1 FTV. So, hey, with that second one, maybe we... Despite the fact that we're the casters for this stream, we are coming very far down the bottom of the community's Pick'ems League. By the way, if you ever want to get involved in the community, go look down below the stream. There's a Discord link. We chat and stuff. It's a good time. There's very smart people in there. Smarter than us, apparently, because we're getting clobbered in picks. But we do have to pick an MVP for that match. I think it's really obvious.
Yeah, it has to be Rika.
Yeah,
great
Rika
performance from Kurko as well, though. Especially in the early jungle path. I have to rewatch this game to see where he got advantage from. I didn't really focus on the junglers too much, but suddenly I looked at the scoreboard and wondered why FTV was actually ahead in gold, or almost even in gold, even though they were 4 or 5 kills behind. And yeah, 50 CS advantage in the jungle at 10 minutes. That is, more than expected. So great performance from Kuroko. Honestly, almost everyone performed. One Ground is his name, right?
Yeah, the Blitzcrank. He hit some good hooks. He didn't have a great game, but...
Yeah, he was okay. Police, late game team fighting was quite strong. His early game not super great, but I think the top side, especially for FTV, performed greatly this game.
Absolutely. It was definitely the top side leading the way, and Police had a few good team fights off their backs. But... that is game 2 in the books. We're back at 1 versus 1 in the clash at the bottom of the table. We'll be back in a little, just about 8 minutes. The time is always a little bit deceptive for the VCS, but there'll be a timer on screen. Thanks for joining us. We always appreciate it. If you go down below the stream, join our community, follow the Twitter, maybe even consider supporting us just a little bit. But we'll be back soon to bring you the thrilling conclusion of FTV versus VGA.
Let's go.
Hello. Welcome back for game 3. We didn't think we'd get there, but we have. It's FTV taking on VGA. I'm Everyday, and with me is Yulwei. What is there to say? That rhymed way too much.
Sounded nice, though. So, yeah, game 3. I mean, we both predicted there to be game 3, so I guess we were right. After game 1, we didn't really think we would get there, but turns out FTV can win with whatever they want. So back to blue side on first pick, not very probable, but
no, probably not. I mean, maybe they have the. I wouldn't mind them not picking it if they pick the Camille again, but I actually think Camille should be banned away. If
I'd really like to see Aphelios banned for FTV.
Oh, and we are straight in, thick and fast here. So we will. Going into Champion Select. Cassiopeia has been banned. Did look pretty good for PHT last game. Had a few kills, but didn't really manage to make much of an impact.
I'm quite surprised by Django still here. He had a very off game on the Ornn, and Ornn is one of CHP's best champs, so don't quite understand why Django is still here. Maybe this time they want to carry with carry and have Django run over Rika in laning phase. So right now, we've seen 2 games. 2 times in a row, Adonis has won the early game, and 2 times in a row, FTV has looked better when it came to lane assignment. I'd really like to see FTV once again go for strong side laning champs. Aphelios might be the first pick this time.
I'd like to see that.
That's a big change.
There we go. I mean, that's already a very good start. Picking up a very, very strong ADC. Ornn is still open. Wouldn't be surprised to see that instantly answered for Adonis. But I think trading Aphelios for Ornn, I would typically favour the Ornn side of that trade, but it's not terrible.
So I'd now really like to see Lee 3 jungle bans, and doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to ban 3 junglers if you then give up the Lee Sin, which Kuroko just performed very, very good on. Instead, they go back to the J4 once again. Scary's comfort champ, but I kind of question this ban and pick priority here for Adonis, because
I don't think you need to ban that
doesn't really make a whole
Shyvana.
lot of sense.
The Shyvana ban, I think, is just really buying into a meme. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I agree. No necessity for this Shyvana ban. I like the Thresh pick if they go for it. It gives escape tool, makes them more mobile in team fights, to able to reposition as well, especially good against two strong stationary ults, the Cataclysm and of course the Bullet Time. So good to see.
Yep.
What does Adonis round out the first round? Okay, a lot of round. With
I mean, Ornn is still open. Could definitely be picked up. No, it looks like they want to go towards the Nautilus. Bot lane's
I think they're a little bit
on
scared of
both
the
sides.
Ornn right now, because Django got stomped on Ornn. So
True. I don't. A good enough reason, to be totally honest.
I agree. Ornn should be picked every game, but yeah, I don't think they feel too comfortable picking Ornn and once again running into Camille. So maybe a ban.
Yep.
The bans for Adonis in this game astonish me. Why would you ban Zoe?
Yeah.
It is super strange. So now it's a prime position to pick up Ryze for. They banned if they ban Cass, be a very obvious Ryze. So then Adonis needs to pick up the Ryze, or they'll give up a very free Ryze to FTV. Syndra banned, so I think this is just a race for Ryze. And now Ryze and Cassiopeia are still open, so FTV could either say, okay, we just trade Cassiopeia Ryze, or they ban the Ryze. That is, I thought they would ban the Cassiopeia. Interesting. Okay,
Cassiopeia is already banned. She was banned in phase 1.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Didn't catch
it happens. We all make mistakes. As it looks like Rumble will be the lock-in for PHT. I like that. Hasn't really seen any attention this series.
Oh no! Oh no! Please! Oh my!
Oh, and he's. Oh no! It's PHT Ziggs.
So don't get me wrong, everyone who's tuning in for the first time today, I really like. He's one of my favorite tracks to play. But PHT has played Ziggs before, and he was unbelievably bad on the champ. He was so bad.
I actually don't mind Ziggs as a pick. I think Ziggs is fine. I think he's a decent
champion. A lot of
champion.
wombo combo as well.
Yeah.
Look at this comp.
But PHT played Ziggs last week, and it hurt me.
Yeah, it really did. He missed everything. He had anti-synergy in his team. Then he also outplayed himself. He threw bombs away from targets and then knocked the targets back from the bomb.
It was very, very bad. Hopefully he can redeem himself, though. And Rika will get round 2 on the Camille. Could we have the big brawl in the top lane? And we do. The 2 duelists. Lot of cutting and stabbing up there.
Yeah.
Can we just lock the camera on top lane? The other lane's
we'll probably just watch Zig tilt us more and more. Very exciting top lane matchup. Django, this time, as I alluded, going with the carry matchup. Doesn't want to go with Ornn again, and Rika free to scale. I like FTV's decision to once again go for Camille. It looked very strong in the last game. Rika is a little bit of a streaky player. He sometimes has very good games and then falls off a cliff in the next game. So we'll have to see if he can this time carry his team to the victory and stay on top of his game after a very strong performance.
Yeah, I'm not overly familiar with the Fiora-Camille matchup either. Generally speaking, Fiora matchups are super polarized because you pick her into like Set or Mordekaiser or something where it's just like, yeah, okay, Set and Mordekaiser don't exist anymore because of the Fiora pick. I think Camille can probably have a pretty good go at her. I guess you have to repost the E or the ult.
And it's pretty easy to repost the E. So as far as I know, this matchup is Camille favored in lane range, sustain compared more easily applicable sustain with W. Yeah. So Camille usually gets off to a CS lead and has a little bit more power in one item because Fiora likes to go second item to the T. And 2 item power spike for Fiora is big. 1 item not so much, especially not in the fighter matchup. So I'd say early game goes over to Camille, but the later the game goes, the easier for Fiora to outplay Camille. Camille really needs to land her stun. Also, Fiora the better conqueror, stacker, and user compared to Camille. So,
but considering the way the games have been playing out, where VGA hasn't actually looked very strong around the side lanes, it's actually been sort of a weakness so far. Is Fiora really a good pick here for them? I think
that is a very good question.
I don't really like the Fiora pick matchup, regardless. The times I like seeing Fiora come out, there's 2 times. One is when Yoshino's playing it. I don't care about any other context. If Yoshino's on it, I'm in. But generally, she's used as this hard counter pick. Where she can just side lane and the opposing team side laner cannot stop her. But I don't think that happens here. Maybe she's favoured against Camille, like that makes sense, but it's definitely not like I'm so favoured that you may as well not come to the side lane.
Yep, I agree. Also, Camille has the option to then go for team fight. She is way better than.
Yeah.
So it's a very strange matchup. We'll have to see. If Django gets off to a great lead, I don't think Rika can ever get back into the game because it gets harder and harder the later the game goes. But if Rika plays evenly until like 20 minutes, FTV has very good win conditions. And team fights can also go for sneaky side lane plays. And so far, they've managed the side lanes way better than VGA. So yeah, I agree. Fiora is a little bit of a strange pick. I would have liked to see something like the Cannon. Just go full lane control and go for team fights, because the use of Fire look better in early game, and maybe you can snowball the Cannon to a victory. I'm not sure if... if
this is all fantastic analysis, but they've lane swapped.
Oh, that's true.
They've switched Silas up into the Fiora. They really must think...
very strange.
They must think Camille gets really bopped in this lane.
And Silas gets wrecked by Fiora in lane, by the way. He is bad into Fiora.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about the new Silas, I have to say.
I mean, it's very easy to repost the E, surely.
Yeah.
Super telegraph.
And Q as well, if you want to.
Yeah. This is a
so
very
maybe it's more about the mid lane match than the top lane matchup.
But does Camille do that well into Ziggs?
She has some kill pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. She has some kill pressure. Mid lane, Camille is one of the that can gap closes very well in the mid lane because of the walls, of course. But yeah, I agree. It's a little strange.
Looking sort of away from the Fiora pick. One thing to comment on with VGA is they do have a very strong team fight combo.
We can't look away from the Fiora pick.
No, we can't. You're a moment ahead, and there is the W on that E. Django has to try and find a way out here. Good flash. But he could still go down, and he does. And we do need to look into the bot lane, because Police is going down very, very low. Vit looking for this kill, should be able to find it with the love tap. And 1 for 1. But First Blood does go to FTV.
First Blood once again to Kuroko, who once again plays around of course lane, but it's the victory Kuroko combo that has yielded some early game gold and kills, of course, to FTV. But Scary, this time around, knows what to do. He ganks in another lane and gets a kill. So now it's very
Kuroko looking mid.
Very much split map.
Scary's here as well. Could they try and find something? Nope, as it's just a bit of a bomb thrown as the auto attack, but that is it.
Yep.
Big wave coming in here that Django should be able to farm almost all of. He's not losing too much after this.
Very easy to farm with Fiora. If you Q and then Q resets as well. It's a very nice champ to last it with. Of course, top lane kill didn't go to Silas, which is
that is unfortunate.
Bot lane kill. Nice engage for Scary. Good combo with BO3 as well. So just very easy to lock down the kill.
Yep. Vid had to use both summoners.
Vid as well. Yeah.
Not ideal, but in the end, it didn't really matter. You'll trade both your summoners for an early kill. Happy with that one.
And Vid could have died if he got caught by Thresh there. So good dodge on the back half of the play.
You do have to ask, why were they there?
Yeah.
They were getting flanked by the enemy jungler in their own tri-bush. That's a bit weird. Would have almost liked to see 10 seconds before that. I think they might have been looking for a ward or something. But yeah, in the end, get very hard punished. Oh, Victory, you got to pick up those cannons. Come on, mate. Gonna overthrow the Demacians if you don't have any gold.
Yeah, the poor little kittens, once again, struggling today. Stay alive. One of the oldest league memes, I think. It's great. I love it. So, very early Executioner's calling for the Fiora in the top lane. Usually, I'm not a big fan of Executioner's calling first item. I think Fiora can afford to do
I think it makes a lot of sense into Silence.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
just
and I think Fiora is one of the
completely
champs that
cuts
can
the
afford
Yulwei.
to do so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to rush towards Trinity Force early first item. I think all bad Executioners first.
Ooh, but here in the bot lane, one ground has been hit up here. The Aphelios getting knocked up. Does
Everyone is
bring
here.
in
It's a
the
party.
teleport. It is an absolute party in the bot lane. Django's here trying to focus out police. Should be able to find him. And yes, he does go down. But it's still an absolute brawl. The bomb is used. Doesn't actually do that much damage. As Silas has now picked up a kill. Biob going down. And it's VGA melting away. As I think 4 of them died there.
Yeah, 4 for 3.
4 for 3. It's 6 minutes in the bot lane.
If you're new here, everyone agrees.
If you're new here, this is the VCS. This is our bottom 2 teams. It doesn't get better as you go up.
This is one of the worst feelings for bot laners, because of course they died first in the fight because they are already there. They traded health bars, so when all the big champs from the other lanes come in, they are almost always dead already. So look at this. It starts off with a good grab from Biob. It looks double CC on police, but the focus is not great. Ground goes down first, but traded immediately for Vid, and now Scary is super low as well, level 4, so he goes down. Police stayed alive way too long, so now it's an advantage for VGA for FTV, even though they were still a member down. 2 solo laners, of course, stronger than the other side. So in the end, very nice execution for FTV, and the focus was just not very good for VGA. They should have killed police first. This way, they would have prevented even more damage from coming down.
Overall, a very, very good series of events here for FTV, who are off to a lead once again. Start getting hope. Kuriko going very aggressive here to steal some chickens, and with the backup from Rika, Scary just has to give it up.
Yep, nicely done.
Absolute.
This time, Scary at least has. Yeah, Scary at least this time is not. Definitely improved his pathing. The top lane matchup is something I want to keep an eye on. Of course, now Silas very strong early items. He wants to go for the quickest item spike he can get, which is of course the very cheap proto belt.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense as well. Having that little bit of extra damage, little bit of extra mobility, I think is very valuable in this matchup. I do struggle to see him really winning. Actually, I tell a complete lie because he has 2 kills. Of course, he wins all wins.
Yeah, at the moment he does.
But as the game goes on, I do think Fiora will begin to win this match.
But Fiora from behind, of course, is horrible.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Fiora needs a lot of time. She shouldn't struggle to farm against Silas. Really doesn't. She can counter engage against Silas very easily and prevent herself from stunned. So this should just be a farm lane now for Fiora, and Victory needs to try to accelerate the other lanes, which he's still on the top lane. Sorry, I didn't see his picture because he was just beneath the Fiora head there.
This should be a pretty free first Drake here for VGA, much slower than the Drakes we've seen in the other 2 games, and it's
a nice Drake to have. Sure.
And will be traded for the Rift Herald almost certainly. So I mean, I think that definitely favors FTV. I would always take a Rift Herald over 1 Cloud Drake. But
especially if they can get the kill here as well.
Yeah.
Django down to
I think Fiora, this is a fairly easy kill.
Yeah, this should be easy. Oh, nicely done from Django, though.
Yeah. Good. Doing everything he can here. This is actually getting very, very messy. Could potentially get at least 1 and does. And he's still alive. He's not going to be alive for much longer, as he does finally go down. But getting the 1-for-1 there with all those resources committed, yeah, you take that.
Yeah, way too over-aggressive for... Oh, wait. Can Scary... Oh, Scary? Why didn't you...
He could have bopped the Rift Herald's eye there.
Yeah.
I don't think he could have stopped the charge. It wouldn't have killed him.
Probably not.
But still.
Probably not. That's fair. So, I want to see the replay. Of course, this is quite bad for FTV. They wanted to accelerate the matchup. Instead, they actually back way too over-aggressive for victory. I think he just completely disrespected the heal reduction there. Because, of course, he healed himself back up to like 500-600 HP. What would be back to 800 if they not for the heal reduction already built on Django. So, yeah, let's see this again. Django half HP.
Play.
Yeah. So, look, very nice patience from Django. Rika basically can't participate as long as Django holds on to his W. This is also why Vic dies to the turret, because Rika didn't do any damage. So would have actually been a better play for Rika to miss his E and just try to deal damage.
Yeah, very true. I don't think he didn't need to E in.
No.
It's not like he needed the E damage because he didn't deal it and Fiora still died. Could have just denied anything to really riposte. But that's a very hard call to make on the fly. You know,
of course.
We didn't notice that. We didn't think of that the first time around, and we don't actually have to do it. And, Victory, looking for another little play here, but here comes the grand challenge, but has to immediately back off because Kuruko shows himself.
He's slowing. Yay.
Party
in the
lights.
Limelight today.
The party lights are out. Django, though, going forward very, very low. The minion, get down, Mrs. President.
Look at
that damage. PHT redeeming himself, looking pretty good on this Zig so far. Unfortunately, Bob gets the kill, but it doesn't matter that much. In the end, another good play up to the top side for VGA. We've got a close game on our hands. Bit of a cracker so far.
So now can FTV dive Viti? They are not going to try. Oh, that's a little bit... Okay, they didn't know where Scary is, so fair enough. Could have gone for the dive. I think they have enough damage immediately. Or instantly, I should say. So, okay, that's fair. A little bit more defensive than I would have anticipated. You kind of need to punish the Bio Brome in the top lane, but...
Yeah, in the end, it's not a super crucial play that they needed to make. I don't mind them being a little bit cautious. They are 500 gold ahead, maintaining this lead, but the mid lane has gotten to the point where PHT can just instantly delete lanes. Rika, that was super dangerous. In fact, it is dangerous. As he goes down, he just did not need to make a cheeky play like that.
Yeah, don't charge through a minefield. That is not advisable. Please don't. Wow, he killed himself there. Zix didn't have to do anything.
It's weird because you'd think Vietnamese players would know all about minefields.
Oh, okay.
Joking, Vietnam, I love you. I spent like 3 months in Vietnam. It's one of my favorite countries on earth. As one grounders even takes a lot of damage. Scary goes golden. Police wants to make something of this one. Scary flashing away. And
Django
is in the middle of enemy territory. Can he find a way out? No, with that Hextech challenge. That's gone. Yeah, dead Fiora.
One of the greatest changes of last year. Teleport is not cancelable anymore.
Yep, because he would have cancelled that one every day of the week.
Yep, indeed. I love this change. I think it brought so much more action. So, like, before the change came in, we like fake teleports into bot lane to prevent the first kill attempt every single game. It was so annoying to watch. So I'm just super glad it got removed. And yeah, if you make a mistake, you get punished for it. And that's how it should be. This time, Django felt that one.
Yeah, that he did. We do have the Essence Reaver completed, as we will go into a replay here.
He actually also almost no mana, so he has one. Okay, he has enough for ult, and that's a lot of
damage.
Yep, it's like, he's level 11, so it's level 2 ult and full center.
Oh, but here we come back to live, because the VCS don't get no breaks, as we do have the fight breaking out over this Infernal Drake. Rika looks for something, but chooses not to.
PHT has no flash, but ult available. So taking Dragon against the Ziggs AoE damage, very scary. And there's a lot of follow-up AoE as well with Bullet Time.
Beob looking for it, but doesn't hit the hook. There's still a lot down here. Kuriko, Ward Hops.
Oh, the flank.
They're looking
the
for
flank.
this. This is 5 members of FTV here. In fact, it's all 10 members around this bot side. Fiora is team fighting once again. There's the bullet time doing a lot to one ground. Wasn't aimed particularly well, but Victory goes down. The Gravitum is on a few of them. Could be held up, and there they are. This should allow the disengage, but it should be an Infernal Drake here for VGA. The second stack of their soul.
Yeah, nicely done. Kuriko wants to go for the steal. It's quite scary into the minefield, though. So just one Q, a little bit too late. So in the end, just another dragon for VGA, and once again, will Mountain Rift. No oceans today.
Yeah, no, definitely no oceans. We just got those tanky boys as Rika taking a lot of damage, but does get the E to the tower. Hookshot is a good spell.
If you don't use it through a minefield, that is, yeah. So I want to see the replay for the dragon fight. It was set up. I think VGA was in a little bit of trouble there, but then acted on the other side of the fight to actually turn the disadvantage into an advantage for them. So very nicely done. Good team fight awareness. What I mean by that, we can hopefully see soon in the replay. We get one.
Maybe.
Hello.
Who knows? You never know, but we will move on. Hopefully we do get to have a look back as PhD is just poking it out in mid. I want to see this Fiora stop coming to team fights.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't understand why Django is constantly playing around team fights. It doesn't make any...
To be fair to them, they've won all the...
Yeah.
Almost all of them. Bot lane teamfight, of course, in the early game did go to FTV, or FTV's way, but only slightly, so... Yeah, he needs more experience, though. He's still level 10, not even old.
Yeah, I still think he needs to be...
Again.
I think the Fiora from behind is so sad, and it's even sadder in team fights.
Yeah, it is really sad to watch. Luckily for him, he has a very strong A behind him who can carry the team fights. Right now, VGA is still in a good spot to team fight.
Yep, and Kuriko starting up with Herald on Vision, but they're going to give this up. Force them off.
Or
they're going to trade it for a tower. True. And they're going to trade it for the bot lane tower. So at the very worst, it's a tower for a tower. That's fine.
Yeah, it's solo gold to Fiora. Exactly what you wanted to see.
Oh, they didn't even get it. Baron. Oh, yes, they did. I'm telling you, complete. What am I talking about? I saw the timer disappear. I was like, oh, Baron spawn. No, that's in 2.5 minutes every day. Settle down. Turn your brain on.
We're not a Counter-Strike. 2 minutes don't really matter too much.
Oh, but can you... But Katowice's on, mate. Can't wait. VCS is... It's already started. Better anyway, of course. Don't go anywhere else, guys. Nothing else on. You see PHT doing... It's actually had a much better performance on Ziggs tonight than last week.
Far.
I'm not upset. So far,
he's not going for...
good.
Oh, can he hit the W this time on the turret? There it is. The marker appeared, and he's not going for it. Too scared.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it makes sense. If you can get it with just auto attacks, you may as well keep your W for running away. That makes sense to me.
There was one of the biggest misplays last week on the Ziggs. He missed a very obvious W on the turret. Got on. Yeah, the VN casters laughed at him for a solid minute or something. It was quite ridiculous. So, first item build now for Django. He's stronger right now. Looking at one victory, he should actually be in an advantage. No heal reduction for victory. So right now, Fiora should be able to sustain through the burst for victory.
Hopefully. And if we can see a situation where she's living through the burst, she should be able to sustain herself back up in those 1v1s and potentially turn them around, maybe with a little bit more gold. And obviously, we do want to see Victory attending team fights. Speaking of which, we do have a Silas in the game, so whose ult does he really want to be stealing? We might have to come back to it as Bob flashing, misses the hook, but lands the depth charge, because that one's a little bit hard to miss.
Flash for Kuriko.
Scary, goes with the ult, but it does get the flash. Kuriko lands the Q, but I don't think they're going to turn it.
Yeah, they're great ults for victory on the menu this time. You can go for to use, but of course, Nautilus ult has AP scalings. It's quite strong in teamfights as well. You have one of the best AoE ults in the game on Ziggs, of course. He used that in the bot lane team fight, so I assume he's going to go for that ult again.
There's a factor you're not considering though, which is the style factor. So you obviously take bullet times and get those finger guns going.
Sorry, you cut out for me.
Oh, you have to take that bullet time and get the finger guns going.
Of course.
It's all about the style, mate.
The animation is so dumb.
It is very dumb.
Using bullet time.
It's great. Same with him using culling. Oh, Django's in so much trouble. Good
patience.
Yeah. I mean, he shouldn't have flashed there, really.
Yeah,
but he goes down.
Good patience for Kuroko to wait for the kick until the W wore off. So nice to see them being aware of how to play around Fiora, and another mistake in the. I'm still not quite sure why he's still in. I thought Chip looked better in game 1, but. And this VGA didn't want to play tanks, so they had to sub in their carry top laner.
Yeah, I still. If I'm totally honest, I would have really liked to see Chip playing, as that is the Dragon picked up for FTV, slowing down all of the Dragon snowball, as I remember. Promise, I do this all the time. As up in the top lane, VGA wants to trade the bot tower they lost. Should be able to get this top tower very, very easily.
Yeah, we've slowed down a lot. It's 8-8 in kills. We're well below 1 kill per minute because there haven't been too many kills in the last 2 minutes.
Very close.
The pick on Django.
200 gold.
Very close in gold as well. So we probably have to talk a little bit about scaling and win condition for the teams right now. We have very strong team fighting for VJ, but there's also Fiora. So
the Fiora is the
very strong team fighting champs, and then Fiora on top of that. It's not super great. They can still team fight, and maybe Fiora can pressure one of the two melees out of the fight. But if you look at the pure 5v5 for FTV, they also have a very strong setup. Rika and Victory can come from the flank.
Ooh, here we go. Bullet time and the bomb being used. Rika taking so much damage, but Thresh is a good champion. Gets him the hell out of there and ends up no one's dying.
Everyone's alive.
I don't think they're going to keep going forward as PHT could not land those long-range bombs.
Such a risky play for FTV to invade there. And in the end, they don't get punished. They had to blow... They didn't even have to blow a flash. So, yeah. I mean, in the end, can be super happy with this outcome. Peeked into the enemy jungle and almost died. But in the end, no one had to bite the dust. And FTV is still well and truly in this game. I'm interested in what Rika wants to do in this. Because so far he has had a...
Not 100% sure. Like, Rika is obviously going to be on Fiora stopping duty, and I think he'll do that super well because this Fiora pick has not worked at all. Right?
Yeah. I just want to see a fight right now between Fiora and Camille. Looking at the items, this might still favor Camille. I'm really not sure of this matchup. Depends a lot on what Camille wants to do. I think Fiora is more waits for mistakes for Camille, and Camille kind of needs to decide what to do. She just wants to attack the turret, or she wants to fancy the fight against Fiora.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say Fiora wins right now.
Yeah, I think in the full 1v1s, but Fiora definitely can't force the fight.
Yeah, she can't start the fight.
Yeah, the fight is always going to be called by Rika, so as long as Rika doesn't massively overestimate himself, he should never die. And I think it is just going to come down to the fact that we're going to go to team fights. Both teams are pretty good in the late game team fight. Ziggs is really good. MF is really good. Aphelios is very, very good. Silas is also good. But Fiora isn't.
Yeah. And there's another problem.
VGA Django going in here. The grand challenge has come out. Kuroko actually comes over the wall to try and help this one. This could be a double kill. And it is 2 kills for VGA picked up, where I don't think Kuroko had to come and help.
Nope. Kuroko wanted to get the kill on the Fiora or kick her away. Nice awareness from Django. Used this riposte to not get kicked away, and they got the 2 kills. So now VJ wants to...
The starting Baron, it makes sense.
Very aggressive.
It goes down pretty quickly for them.
No jungler, of course, for FTV.
Zigzolt has been nicked by the Silas.
Zigzolt is scary.
Zigzolt is very scary in a Baron pit.
Oh
Scary
no.
used the EQ. Oh, so much damage. The absolute
Oh,
atom bomb.
police squad.
There is a big bullet time, but Victory's gone straight in on Vit. Scary's going
Bad
down
guns.
very low. Oh no, this is super, super bad.
Police.
FTV is hard winning this fight, but no, here comes Django. He goes down immediately. Can they find a way to get anything done? Biob has to limp away. And this is going to be Baron on the back for FTV.
Can PhD steal?
The throw of the century. They could go for the
Oh,
Q.
so close.
Oh, that was really, really close there. I believed for just a moment. And FTV turn it all around. The hit onto that Q as well. PHT's not. Ooh,
Dix damage.
This is close. And he gets the kill. And up in the top lane, Rika got Biob. So that was a disaster for VGA. Oh God, PHT.
He's
Poppin'
really
skull.
redeeming himself for his low performance last week. So now 4
Absolutely.
seconds
Doesn't have
for
much
the
time to
recall.
stop them.
Nope. Shouldn't
Rika's
have
dead.
stopped. That was dumb.
Yeah, unfortunate.
You go for the 10% play that he actually misses the Q and you get back to base. You don't stop your recall there. They were still a little bit silly, but in the end, it's still Baron for FTV, and more importantly, it's not Baron for VGA. So we need to see how this all transpired again.
Yeah, I'd love to see a replay. Do have the Mountain Drake up here that VGA could pressure towards, put themselves on sole point. Don't think FTV will really bother to contest this one. They just don't have the position.
No.
It doesn't really.
PhD is actually quietly carrying mid game. Very strong performance on the Ziggs this time around. 3-0 and 8. Maybe not so quiet actually. And Police was unfortunate in the last fight. If you get the replay, I'm not sure. We don't get replays today. Apparently, there seems to be a little technical issue or something. So replays are scarce today. But of course, Police had not the greatest weapons to fight there. No Crescendum, no Severum. He had Calibrum and Gravitum, so not a whole lot of damage, which led to him not being able to carry the fight, even though the position for Aphelios to carry. Like if he had the flamethrower there, I think everyone would have died instantly for VGA.
Yeah, I definitely agree. That was one of those rare times where the guns mattered on Aphelios. It wasn't just good and great.
He still dealt normal ADC.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Why would he not? Oh, the champion.
Yeah.
Get him out of my game, please.
I mean, eventually, League is going to last for another 40 years. I'll be here with a big grey beard, just sitting here going, back in my day, we didn't have Aphelios. He'll still be 80% pick ban, and the Yasuo twins. Don't need that.
Victory is one level from 16. On level 16, Salas, scary.
Yes, that's a lot of ults.
Scary.
Say the least.
Actually, would have liked to see him. I'm not quite sure if I agree with the Conqueror. If now and it's hard to make this judgment call right now.
I think it's good. He stacks it really quickly, but here we do have a bit of a fight here. VGA has found a bit of a catch. One ground could go down, but no, he's still alive. Could throw a lantern. He has actually, but Rika cannot get near it. So that is a free pick there for VGA, giving them map control for a little while.
Strikes again. Kurko and Rika go down. This time on the top side of the map. Last time they went down on the bot side. This time there's no project for VGA to capitalize on. So should just give them the time to get a lead at one. Maybe even the inhibitor. They have a lot of pushing.
They do. They really do. They don't have to get this inhibitor super low. They can just have PhD blow it up. Yep, that'll be hexploded. And they're going to get the inhib itself as well. Wow, that's a passage of a play.
For FTV. And suddenly, VGA is once again ahead. It's back, forth, and back. Soul Point still there for VGA as well. 2 minutes till both big objectives come back on the map. So FTV could look for Baron for Soul, which in this case can be beneficial. But of course, let's look at this team fight again, or this catch.
Yep, just plate catch
Nicely
out.
done from Scary. Yeah, lining up all the AoE. This is
I love seeing Lee Sins when they tag the MF that's bullet timing and they go for the desperation. I'm just going to try and blow her up. So they're flying towards her as she just guns them down. Like someone running at a gun line in the First World War. Just getting absolutely mullered. But yeah. Just a really good catch.
We saw a little bit of the AoE by high potential, of course. They're good combination of just press R and win. You only need Carthus on this composition to have the full R composition.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking earlier about, in the straight 5v5, I do think VGA is disadvantaged, but if things go right for them, it goes really right for them. If they get their AoE combo, that's just a one-team fight. It doesn't matter that they have this Fiora that's not going to do anything in a fight. It's just
if Cataclysm locks down 3-4 times, both ults for the carries on top of that, there is so much damage. And stopwatches are now very, very rare or scarce for the side of FTV.
Yeah,
no stopwatch on the ADC.
Only Victory can really go into state.
He has two though, so at least that's going well for him.
He'll be much harder to kill, but Silas, level 16 Silas, very scary, but when he's all alone, not as scary. Can definitely be taken down.
Once again, I'd like to see Rika against Django right now on the side lane. Looking at the items, it's so hard to tell. I think it's still Fiora favored, but yeah, it should be very close.
Yeah, I think it definitely comes a bit down to player execution. Rika as well, not even got full boots yet. Only putting those on her back. Yeah, who needs them? We had that game where Levi didn't have boots until like 35 minutes or something. And he's Levi.
Especially in the jungle. You don't need boots, right?
What does movement
You don't
speed
need
mean?
to.
As Baron started up here for FTV, they want to fight. As they're doing a little bit of that damage check. They did have a good gun combo for Aphelios, but he's now lost it.
Yeah.
So
there was a little early, in my opinion. Waited for
it's not over.
The bat.
They are going to keep
look
going.
At Silas on the flank position. He's looking.
Baron down to 1/3 health. Victory looking. Baron regens a little bit, but it's still pulled. Rika is so completely caught here. Does not get caught. Mega Inferno Bomb living up to its name as it's just burnt them down. And that is absolutely huge. PHT is just going straight for the base. He's going to try and cut them off, though. No. Victory, taking so much damage, uses both those stopwatches. It's very strong. And now, can he get away? He cannot. This should be VGA getting the game, but Police is going absolutely huge. It's Aphelios. It is Aphelios time. And he stabilizes. It's a 3-for-3, and FTV live to fight another day.
The lifesteal. What? Oh man, Aphelios. Yep, the game is going on.
The game is not over. VGA...
Also, FTV got all the important kills.
Yeah, they can't even really take the dragon.
Will Rika go for a solo Drake? He could actually threaten the dragon.
Yep. He'll get this.
I like this a lot. And Police is in the vicinity as well, so he help him out. Of course, Lantern. Now Soul is stopped. Very interesting turn of events. It's only Aphelios who kept FTV in the game, but of course
he does that a lot. That's a 4-item Aphelios. Like this is
first
really hard to team fight into.
Oh my God. Okay, best combo for Baron. Best possible combo in terms of pure damage.
Yep, they will back off though. There's 2 control wards come over.
No, he lost the Severum, so it's actually not quite the best.
Okay.
A very good teamfight combo now. Crescendo and for a lot of damage.
That is a whole lot of damage. It's also an amazing amount of zone control. Those Infernum turrets do a lot.
Yeah, they especially now with full crit chunks, big holes into the enemy target, the enemy. Man, that's probably stronger than Mega Inferno Bomb right now, which
should never be said.
It should never be the case, but it is.
Statement.
Oh yes, yeah.
We have to see who can end up here. Rika going in hard. PHT is caught out here completely. Nothing he can do. Throws out the Mega Inferno Bomb. It doesn't do much at all. This should be a free Baron now. PHT not on the map means VGA cannot do much of anything at all. They might trade Baron for an inner turret, but you take that every day of the week.
Yeah, this goes down very quickly. So Scary.
Oh no, don't TP in! Why are they doing this? You just have to take the trade.
Doesn't have flash.
They're going to lose even more now. Django being zoned out. Can they
The
go for
steal
the
is
steal?
possible.
The steal
Steal.
is possible. There's a bullet time.
Nope.
The steal does not happen, though. A lot of damage being dealt by the bullet time. I don't think it's going to
Bullet
matter,
time's
though.
now gone.
Victory a little bit caught. And FTV will be able to escape. They got the inner tower in
Yeah.
the end, so my disappointment isn't as bad. But still.
Good on for the inhibitor trade, though. So
Yeah.
in the end, I still agree with you. I don't pass there. This just sacrifice your jungler. Don't think you can ever look for the team fight there. Actually, I really disagree with position early to use this on the pick. I think if he had his ult available at the Baron fight, he could have just thrown the ult over the wall and deterred the enemy team from ever approaching. So a little bit of a bad judgment call, but in the end, FTV walk away with the Baron. Delayed the soul as well. So now, I mean, we're back to square. We're back to a super even state.
And this game is not like this gold lead. It's only 1.5k gold. Does not mean anything at this stage of the game. This is all about execution.
We have to look at items.
Can police die in a fight? That's the question.
Yeah, very good question. I don't think so right now. Maybe if they pile everything. But if you look at the items right now, there's a big spike still waiting for PhD. No Rabadons right now. And he needs to complete that before the next fight happens. On the other side, Victory is sitting on his head. Or, no, the hat is sitting on Victory, I should say.
He could be sitting on his hat. You know, maybe he doesn't... He's got, he's only got a vest on, so maybe he has it in, his back pocket.
Yeah.
Silas has pretty nice hair. Maybe he doesn't want to screw it up.
Good call.
Not really.
4.5 items for Silas. He deals a lot of damage. He can probably one-shot Vid right.
Yeah, it is.
And of course, he can actually steal the Mega Inferno Bomb and damage then he has the AP multiplicator, and PhD doesn't. So
yeah, that's the way.
Definitely. Very interested to see what police will buy. I will advocate. Almost never hear me say, go for GA. You have double Mountain Drake, potentially 3 Mountain Drakes. GA has a lot of value right now.
Yeah.
I'd also like to
already has it, so.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd also like to see a change of boots for the carries, because with Mountain Drakes, you get out of the defensive stats. So, yeah. I'd like to see MR boots to get, normally you get 35 MR, right?
Yeah.
So that should be something like 42 or something with 2. Those 7 MR points could make the difference against Mega Inferno Bomb.
Yeah. I mean, the scary thing is
there. Nice.
Yeah, I like that decision a lot. This Aphelios is going to be so ridiculously hard to kill. If he has his red gun in a fight, I'm pretty sure he just doesn't die.
Yeah, I'm super sad we didn't get to see the replay team fight, because he had to sever him there, and he healed for 1,500 or something in the team fight. It was ridiculous. He was down to 300 HP and back to full HP in
chunks straight back up. It's pretty ridiculous. We could have the fight here. They want to deny the soul. Rika is on the flank. Doesn't want to get caught though.
Good shots being thrown left to right.
Yeah, he's just going to keep whipping these bombs out, trying to make space. Dragon is started. Goes down very quickly. The fight has to happen. Rika going in hard. Vit is the target, but the bullet time being used, and look at the damage coming out. VGA is absolutely melting, but they've got the heal field from this Fiora. It's actually doing a lot. Down goes Victory, down goes Rika. This is huge. They need this Aphelios to do something right now. He gets 1, but it's not enough. It's a 4v2 at the moment. This should be Mountain Soul being picked up for VGA.
There we go.
They've got the shield.
I think Aphelios was a little too hesitant.
Look at the size of the shield on Vit.
Yeah, it's wow. It's quite disgusting. Wow.
The big one.
Oof. Yeah, I think police was a little too hesitant there. He could have carried the fight, but didn't want to enter. Of course, it's very scary to enter into the minefield, literally and figuratively, of the enemy team. So,
I mean, again, this is not an Ocean Soul. This is a Mountain Soul. It is not over. It's a very big boon. It's definitely put VGA right in the driver's seat. But their car does not have 4 wheels yet. Still got to put that last wheel on and actually drive it into the base.
And that fourth wheel is spawning in 5 minutes, so there's still a lot of
Or
time
1
for
minute.
FTV.
Or 1 minute. Baron's coming up. They
I
can
don't
have like
think
a little
Baron is
wheel.
enough to. Yeah. It's a tiny little supplementary
It's like a bike
wheel.
wheel. They can put a bike wheel on
Yeah.
the car. But I mean,
Not very
again,
useful.
the question
Yes,
every
it's there.
fight I think is going to be how effective is police.
Yeah, and
This has
Rika.
to be a
I think
one-man
Rika
show.
made a big mistake.
Yeah, that's true.
We might actually see Rika go for a little bit of peel instead of going for the, because I think he to warrant a full engage play. So maybe just peel for police on the back line.
Yep. And
Now the
here is
engage
the
coming
fight.
in.
They're
Here we
going
go.
in.
Very
Rika
split
is in the
fight.
back line, has already knocked Vit into the GA.
Oh, double kill for
Two are
police.
down. This is huge. That's another kill. This is the melting of VGA. They need to find a way out.
This
PHT
game,
will survive,
they
but
have time.
Django is going down. He's going to take a long time to kill, and they don't have a wave. I don't think it's going to be game, but it's going to be a lot. Ooh, he does manage to
we
get a
get
kill
another
back.
That's good.
But it's still a 4 for 2.
30 seconds on Scary.
PHT
40
is
on
hard
Bits.
clearing waves. This is a Ziggs. They have to go through the whole in here blind. Yeah, I don't think they have time.
Okay, I guess
They get
Baron,
Baron, though. Yeah.
So in the end, not a whole lot won, but we get to study the team fights a lot, and that's super interesting for someone who really likes to talk about team fights. I think we once again saw a big mistake for VGA. They only committed 2 people to kill Police, and that is not enough. Police is way too tanky, has way too much damage on lifesteal. He was just standing there. He was a turret. He did not move in the fight. He just stood there and killed them very, very quickly. Didn't lose health. So I think you either need to commit 4 or 5 people to kill Police, or never get close to him. Kite him. Like in the fight on Dragon, he never got the opportunity to shoot you. So that's potentially the best outcome you can look for. So wait for the engage from Rika, because he once again threw himself into the back line and got killed pretty quickly. So let's see this fight.
Here we
again.
do see once again, FTV has come up and said, VGA, I've come to bargain. And they'll have another go. I know you don't understand that reference. Watch superhero movies. And this was, just not enough damage on Police. He doesn't take damage. Look at this. This Aphelios doesn't care.
Yeah, jungler and support. Not enough to kill Aphelios. So here we go. Django gets the kill on Grunt. Maybe Grunt was backed off. Honestly, it doesn't really matter if the support dies or not. It's just feels Batman for the poor little Thresh there. Another kill over to Police. Police can't buy items anymore, so he doesn't actually.
Yep, but
we are almost at 6 item state.
I mean, but we're trapped in a time loop here. FTV will come forward, VGA will win this fight and knock their Barons off. Then VGA will push when next Baron spawns. Ooh, big damage out of that Inferno. The Mega Inferno Bomb. He does have his GA up though. They're charging forward. They want to find something, but FTV will give them nothing.
Yeah. So he needs to reset. He has some lifesteal, but without 7, the amount of lifesteal is actually not too much. I think he's sitting on 12% bloodline, of course. But 12% does take a while to get back. Of course, if he has Severum, he needs to shoot the minions once, and then he's full HP, because that's how that weapon works.
Yeah, it's totally fair.
Oh, he sold his boots for a Trinity Force. That's interesting.
That's very interesting. I don't mind it, honestly. He doesn't need to move much in fights. Yeah, he's going to do a hell of a lot of damage.
Yeah, it depends a lot on his weapons if the Trinity Force is used.
I mean, I questioned whether the Trinity Force was better than a Bloodthirster, but as the in goes Rika, can they get this done? Rika's taking a lot of damage early, but the kill's coming in. Victory's got a triple kill already. God, Silas is cleaning it up. Police as well. That is the ace, and surely they don't have a wave.
What happened? What happened? They died.
Victory. Victory happened.
Second. My God.
Do they have
it's not the game because
I don't think they have time. They've got to push super minions.
Yeah, it's super minion wave.
It's definitely an idiot. No, it is enough time. Yeah, it's enough time because PHT is not going to be up. Yep, this is game. FTV. They're going to get a series. No 0-14.
And I think we need to watch the last team.
Yeah, we absolutely do.
In 0.5 speed or something, because I have no idea what happened. He killed everyone. Maybe he stole the Mega. Look at the ult still available for VGA as well.
Yeah,
maybe
they just got completely caught. That was... And FTV, they get up. They get a win. And I think they're not going to do it on the Vietnamese stream, but I think we should go back in our bootleg cast way to go have a look at that last team fight, because that was an absolute ripper. So where does it start? I'm looking at minus, what am I at? Minus 135? You want to go back to that?
43-14 in game? I think let's go
I'm at 43-10.
Okay, that's fair.
To that? Are you at
Well,
that?
let's start 4 seconds later.
Okay, I'm going to put it on 0.5
Do you want
speed.
to go to 0?
I'm going to go to 0.5 speed so we can see what happens here. Let's break this one down. You run us through this one, Yulwei. We've got it in the nice slow-mo.
Tell me when we're at 14 seconds.
I will. And that is now.
Okay, so they're just running down bot lane. Of course, the Mountain Souls are available. This is so much HP FTV has to cut through, so it's super surprising they were able to do so. So let's look at the positioning here. So we have a little bit of a flank for Rika and ground 1. Police is just defending the turret, hits the first shot. So everyone is stunned. Now Rika is approaching Kirko from behind. Biop tries to get on top of Police, but Police with a lot of damage. And now Victory. Now here comes Victory.
Does so much damage.
He just explodes everyone.
Yep,
with
that was
Q.
just Victory.
Yeah, of course, the Q damage from Victory is buffed a lot. The Q now has something like a 0.9 scaling on the second. And he's sitting on 800 AP, so he just murdered everyone with the Q there. Very good setup. Victory Police this time just stayed under turret and let his front line engage from the side. Very bad decision for VGA to look for the fight there. Hindsight, of course, very easy to say, but my God, they died. Everyone died instantly.
Yep, that was
one of the most explosive team fights I've ever seen against Mountain Soul, nonetheless.
That's very true. The fact that it was against basically as tanky as you can be, and yet Victory came in and just detonated 3 people. Wow. But FTV have now picked up a series. They are 1-6, better than 0-7. VGA once again.
The head-to-head.
And they've got that head-to-head, which matters quite a lot. Very, very impressive overall. 2-1 to FTV. Very, very proud of them. Now, we do have to pick an MVP. I think there's 2 candidates for me.
Yeah, it
and
has to be Victory for the last.
I think,
he also played a good game overall. He had a solid laning phase and didn't get caught. Like all the catches. Oh, did he get nailed? All the catches were Rika and Victory. Yeah. So yeah, I think Victory had a very solid game. A little more in the team fights, even though of course 6-item Aphelios dealt all the damage. But when it came to winning the team fights, I think Victory was more crucial to his team's success.
I completely agree. Overall, just a really fun series. A lot more fun than I thought we had, particularly that last game. That game was so much fun. Thank you all for tuning into it. I'm glad you were here. We thought it might be off to a slow start, but it was definitely very, very fun. And for the last time for this series, of course, we do have another series tonight, which we'll talk about when we come back. I have been Everyday Caster. With me has been my good friend Yulwei. We hope you enjoyed that. There is community stuff below the stream. We've got a VOD channel if you want to catch some other games. There's been some crackers so far in the VCS. We've got a Discord where it's for English-speaking people to talk about the VCS. We talk about a lot of stuff. We have fun. You can also, there's a few ways to support us down there, which would definitely mean a lot. Our Patreon donations, subscribing would all really mean a lot, but never ever feel pressured to.
Absolutely.
We do this for the love of it. But we'll be back in, it's probably going to be what? Go ahead. You got something to say? Or
go ahead. Just wanted to say, stay tuned for the next one of the biggest matches of the week. Match for the first place. It's Team Secret, formerly known as Loki, fighting against Flash. Flash coming off a very rough series last week, but they eked out the victory, but didn't look strong. And I have to say goodbye for today, because I have a big exam coming up later on.
It's the Aussie takeover. Don't worry, we'll bring that one in. Don't you worry.
Our good friend Vinny will join, and thankful. Thank you, Vinny. Also tomorrow morning. So please support him as well. And I wish you a lot of fun every day for the
Don't worry.
rest of the cast, of course.
I'll
And
miss
see you
you, but
tomorrow.
I'm sure we'll have plenty of fun. So everyone, thank Yulwei. He is done for today. Obviously, that's not normally how this happens, but he's a big boy and he has some commitments. But yeah, we'll be back in probably about half an hour to bring you the second series, Flash versus Team Secret, the real match of the week. I disagree with our own community managers, and I'll take it to the grave.
The match of the week definitely delivered. So now the match of the week needs to step up as well.
Absolutely. But we'll see you guys. It'll probably be about half an hour, but there'll be a timer on screen. Thanks for tuning in. The stream might turn off at a point because we have to set up things for the next cast, but don't worry. It'll be back. Don't you worry. See you guys in about half an hour. Thanks for tuning in.